All right, everybody, we are live. Welcome to another exciting, glorious, me complaining at the party members. This is City States of Klovisa, _ the God War, episode 11 or 12. Guys, political team, how are we doing today?
Good.
Pretty good.
Yeah, good.
Long weekend today.
Yeah.
Looking forward to get our well-deserved compliments from the tyrant.
Yes.
For a job well done.
Actually doing something for once.
We did.
Yeah. You found stuff? You
totally
got
did.
on a boat?
We found lots of stuff.
Do we want to do any announcements? Does anyone have anything they want to say or do or tell? Because I want to congratulate someone. Fine, fuck it. Nick, also known as Chad, also known as Rumble Roar, in the chat. That motherfucker completed the Deadly Dungeon. This was a community thing on Koibu's channel, and the motherfucker didn't fail so that I could come in next week and do it on my own. Congratulations, Rumble Roar. Big love, big support, and they roleplayed as SG-1, which, although I'm not the biggest fan, I do respect it.
What was his character?
He was Daniel, the doctor. He had allergies and he ate candy bars because he only watched like 2 episodes.
That's all you need.
Yeah, true.
Sneeze a lot and you're good.
Other than that, I have nothing. That's all I wanted to say. So if nobody else has anything they want to say, we can just jump straight into the recap and get on to the Way of Destry, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we just got picked up.
All right, that's a great recap. Let's just go from there.
We are on our way to becoming mage slayers now.
Yes.
We found many an accoutrement of an ancient mage slayer.
Yes. What
In a
else?
sarcophagus.
What else happened?
Oh, nothing too exciting.
Definitely didn't crash a car. That didn't
Definitely
happen.
didn't meet God.
Oh yeah, that didn't happen either.
Nobody
Yeah.
God.
We didn't meet Leechy Dan's uncle, Grunkle, androgynous
Yeah. Something like that.
person.
You guys
Didn't
almost
get a
fell into
magical
a
map
ravine.
either.
Yeah, we didn't get a magic map. We didn't get the Beholder GPS.
Shit. You went to the fucking general goods store.
Yeah.
I forgot all
Yeah.
about it.
The General's Goods Store.
Yeah. God, it shows a shitty map. Okay. Anything else?
Treasure, canyon, flying.
God.
This is the best recap ever.
Yeah.
Just going down
general
good
bullet
store.
pipes.
That's pretty much it.
They should,
Alright.
if they really want to know, they should read the action report.
Yeah, go
Yeah.
read the action report, players.
Or just go watch it.
Yeah, or go fucking watch
Yeah,
it.
John has a VOD channel finally.
I've had one. I just
100% read the action report.
Yeah, the
It's
action
really
report's
good.
the best.
Really good. He put such a good effort into the action report on our team, and it should be read. It should be
It's-
acknowledged.
JC did
very
some
good.
good work there.
It is at least 8 out of 10. At least. But, you know, that's a floor. It could go up, it could go down, you know.
Coraline's not here for an episode and no one documents anything.
True. Alright, you guys are... Oh, fuck, let me check my calendar. You guys went camping.
Yeah,
Bottle
camping.
Beach. Coraline. Alright, that is my code word. It is the 25th of February. You guys are almost done with February. You are currently the calendar leaders by no small means. Congratulations to that. That being said, you're only 3 days ahead of the other people. So, you know. You guys gotta speed it
Our
up.
long rest is for.
Yeah, that's true. Guys, you had been heading to Alcazan partially on stolen transport, well, not stolen, looted transport.
Appropriated.
Then on foot and
Borrowed.
by being pulled defying gravity for at least one of you. So dumb.
Hey, you didn't have to make him me God. God.
Right, you know? Okay, I'm not going to get into that. But, you are now on an airship known as DD-2, standing for Dangerous Dozen 2, which is currently escorting some... No, wait, is this just a regular transport?
You said it was DD2.
I think it's DD-2. So you're somewhat familiar with this ship and this crew that you guys just sort of reboarded in the middle of the field, and it's currently taking you to Destry. Because their idea is we go to Destry and then you guys get a different boat to go back to Tulsa, rather than go there, because they are on a direct course and don't have the fuel to be fucking about.
And we're not that important.
Yeah, that too.
I'd say we're more important than Destry. They just got a bunch of kid warriors.
Don't worry, the lore team's taking care of those kid warriors.
Yeah.
So, you four are on an airship. Is there anything you'd like to do or say to one another, or whip somebody in the neck with a magical flail before we get to Destry?
Well, Coraline, you've been the most, you've used the flail the most. Do you think it'd work on anything but a wizard?
I do not know. It would be worth a try.
Yeah.
Is there another spellcaster on the crew here?
I hear the word spellcaster and I turn around and I'm like, me? I'm a spellcaster.
No, perhaps you could try it on me. I haven't used my spells in quite some time. I need to practice.
What word did you say to make it attach?
Cupcake, I believe it was.
Paradigm will say cupcake and like swing it in the general direction of Coraline.
Of Coraline?
I'll let it happen.
Of Coraline. Does the flail extend and wrap around Coraline's neck?
It does. So long as Coraline doesn't dodge, I'll just make you auto hit her.
Yeah, I'll let it happen.
Yeah.
Well, the chain goes farther than you think it normally would, going its full 10 or so feet of just metallic iron chain. It wraps around Coraline's neck.
I cast Sleep on Paradigm.
I was gonna say release.
Well, Coraline.
Well, actually, you can't.
You have a sleep spell? How'd you get the sleep spell?
I'm an arcane trickster.
Oh my god. Yeah, roll 5d8. As you say a magical word.
Oh, it doesn't silence her.
It
I
does
take
not.
out a handful of rose petals and sprinkle
Okay.
them in Paradigm's direction.
Paradigm, do you have more than 29 hit points?
No. That's
And
3 off.
you fall asleep for 1 minute.
Yep. Paradigm takes a nap.
Coraline, you are not silenced.
It's still wrapped around his neck, though.
Yeah.
I'll unwrap the flail
Give me
and
a
kind of
strength
put it. Okay.
Wait, what's your strength?
13.
Oh, you don't even have enough strength to even attempt it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the metal is still wrapped around your neck. Yeah.
But he's asleep. Can I take the flail from him?
Yeah, I don't suppose why you couldn't. You just
And
walk
I will
with the
say,
chain.
cupcake in reverse, which was the release word last time. Cake cup.
Hang on.
John needs to come up with a better activation word, I think.
It's actually ek ak puk. Which is actual cupcake backwards.
You better write that
I-
down, Paradigm.
Yeah. Give me a second. I need to take
I
note
was
of
never
that
the one who decided the command word for the flail.
Does-
I let you guys.
That was Temur.
So,
Yeah, Timur did it.
Temur, Ekapuck, you say, and the chain goes slack. It is annoyed that you are using it in this manner, but, you know, what can you do?
It has a personality?
No, it's just an inanimate object I like to personify.
Oh, okay, but we don't feel annoyance from it.
No, it's a weapon. Who gives a shit?
Okay, I'll unwrap it and put it by Paradigm, pat his head, and go, "Sleep well, Mr. Horse."
You pat his head, and about 30 seconds later, Paradigm, you awaken, missing the flail. And sliding across the deck a little bit, because they're like turning it a little bit. But, you know, it's fine.
I'll get back up. I'll look for my flail.
You look for your flail.
I pick up flail. I thought she set it down.
I don't remember. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, if I still have it, I'll hand it to him.
Alright, there you go.
Thank you, Courtney.
It looks like it does not work against non-wizards.
It may not silence you, but it still wraps around your neck, which can still be useful.
Perhaps. I was not able to unwrap it myself. Until you fell asleep.
Makes sense.
Could be useful, though.
Very useful. Especially if we needed to pull a heist or something like that.
Why would you say such a thing? Stealing is against the law. She says with a wink.
He winks back. Oh, of course.
Alright. You guys can fly to Destry. It will take basically the rest of the day. Because DD2 is not the fastest of frigates, and they do respect Thorazor's airspace, which other vessels sometimes don't.
John, while we're flying there, I'd like to talk to the captain and ask him who sent him to come pick us up.
The captain is on the bridge, which Coraline is banned from entering. But somebody else can relay this message to him.
I'll go ask.
Helga, you want to go ask?
Yeah, I'll go ask.
Can you ask why I am banned from the bridge?
The security guard in front of the door is just like, no,
I think we know.
you're not allowed in.
I don't mean to be rude, but I think you know why you're not allowed in there. I think you know.
I don't understand. How could they have seen the airship crash? They were very far away.
I know that you didn't crash it. I know it wasn't your fault, but they think it was your fault, so you're not allowed in. I'm sorry.
I mean, there was a horse on board. How could I not crash it?
Exactly. Horses aren't supposed to fly.
Exactly. Whatever you can do, I would be appreciative. Though I can fly without an airship now. It's very nice.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'll go in there. I'll report back.
Helga, you walk on in, the guard lets you pass, he stops Coraline from trying to do that thing where, you know, you just, like, walk with somebody really closely to, like, get it entered, and he's just like, nope. He uses his Sentinel opportunity grapple attack and Jujitsu throws Coraline out. But Helga, you're allowed in. You are now in the command area, I suppose, the bridge of this airship. It is mostly metal on the interior. There are many consoles. There is the steering contraption, which is 3 people are at the helm of. And the captain sitting on a slightly elevated chair, idly spinning and talking with people. But currently it's just a relaxed affair. No one's expecting to get attacked.
I go up to the captain.
He's like, ah!
And I go, oh, I'm sorry. I don't want to bother you. I know you're probably busy. I have 2 questions. Only 2. Maybe some more if I need you to elaborate. But for now, it's just 2.
Yeah,
first
what's
of all,
up?
Who told you to pick us up? Like,
Who
how did
told
you know
us
where
to
we
pick
were?
us up?
Yeah.
He, like, leans down. Haven't you seen him?
Oh, no?
It's a shadow in our periphery. He sometimes yells at us and, like, conveys the tyrant's order. You know.
Are you okay? I don't know what you're talking about.
Emotionally or, like, physically?
Both.
No.
Both.
I'm in the
Are
middle
you
of a
okay?
divorce, so I'm actually like emotionally devastated right now.
I pat him on the shoulder.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
it's okay. It's not your fault.
Yeah. To change the subject, so a shadow person told you where we were.
Yeah. Haven't you seen him?
I don't think I have. Maybe my friends have, but I don't think I have yet.
Okay. Well.
Also, second question. I understand why she's not allowed in here. I get it, but can my friend Coraline please come in? She really just wants to watch.
So I don't get to make that call. I might be the acting captain, but I'm not the real captain of this vessel. We're just using it as like a training thing. So if we get somebody who like attacks us, and just crashes this airship into the ground, like the previous one your friend was in, we're all gonna get in like really bad trouble if we live. So I'd rather we don't deal with that at all and just keep her fully banned and barred.
From the other side of the door, you hear, "It was shoddy maintenance."
Yeah, that's never gonna fly. That thing.
Okay, I get it. Thanks, I
No
guess,
problem.
for your help. And I leave.
Alright, you leave.
Yeah.
You're back with Coraline. Coraline is still just getting jujitsu thrown by Jujitsu Dan over here. Alden's just typing in the chat. We can all see it and read it. Is anyone else
Crash it.
wanting to do anything?
Shit.
Paradigm just is watching his map as it moves with his little cursor.
It's like a Minecraft map almost, with just a little symbol of a horse. Now that you've attuned with it, it's personalized to you.
Okay, is he the only one that can see it, or like if he's holding it and I'm looking at it, can I also see it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It doesn't make any fucking sense, but you can look at it. It's just like magical, weird lines, graphs, and everything, but he's like seeing through the matrix code right now into this device.
Okay, so I don't see a map if I look at it.
No.
Okay.
You see magic.
Cool. I'm gonna stare at it and pretend that I understand what's happening.
Paradigm, give me a perception check. As you stare at your map as this airship flies by over the wondrous region of Thorazor. You know, Paradigm, there are, as you guys are schmoving. Hang on, where's my... I think you guys are moving at 7,500 feet per minute.
There's input lag.
Come here. What is cruise speed for a frigate? A cruise speed for a frigate is 80 miles per hour. So, you know, that's like when I drive normally in like rural or city limits. It doesn't actually matter. I just go at a flat 85 everywhere I go. So, when you guys are schmoving through the sky, Paradigm, you're beginning to pick up on strange symbols that are really weird, and then within like 30 seconds before you can even truly like study them, you fly over them, and they're out of your range.
Oh my god, it has landmarks.
You say to yourself as Antoine looks at you. Antoine, I'm now setting you in the scene. This is canon. What do you say?
Okay. I was just looking up what 85 was in kilometers. I was just
I was gonna ask.
About 130.
I love the disconnect our team has on a regular basis.
I was thinking, what is that? What? I was curious. And that's pretty fast, man. Like, dude.
Yeah, it's very fast.
That is pretty fast.
Texas highways are fun. What can I say?
It's just desert. No one cares if you hit a tumbleweed. Except for you.
Well,
It's more like the cops just don't give a shit. Just like, get out of the way, go faster. I was in a 75 on a highway. This is a big distraction, but I want to tell the story. I was in a 75 going 80, and a cop was riding my ass. So I was like starting to slow down a little bit. He's like, okay, I don't know if this guy is gonna be... And then he fucking throws his lights on, and I can't go anywhere, so I just start speeding up at that point. He turns the lights off, and now we're both going at like 90 miles per hour. And he's just like right behind me. And eventually I can like get over a lane. He just fucking zooms past. It was the most surreal experience ever.
I thought this was going to be a story about John evading the police.
No.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be like a chase.
I didn't get chased by
John's in the Fast and Furious 9 movie that's about to come out.
Anyway,
I...
a little aside, now that we're done with that, is there anything else you guys like to do? Antoine, you want to say anything to your fellow wizard while you're rocking out your cool morph suit?
Paradigm's just taking note of every landmark symbol he sees, trying to figure out what they mean.
Do you need help over there?
Yes, Timber. Come look at the map. Not realizing no one else understands the map but me.
Paradigm, it's very weird. Everyone just looks really confused. And, like, because to Paradigm, he's just looking at a map. Like, just a very ornate and detailed, rather dope-looking map. He's, like, pointing at stuff. He's like, did you see this landmark here? I saw it, like, you know, and then, you know, it's gone. But, like, Antoine, you're just, like, looking at a blank piece of paper, really.
I'm like, sure, Paradigm. Yes, there's all things over here. I understand. No worries. You do you, man. You do you. And then I kind of like go back and I like build a box and I kind of read my book of lore or my wet spot, my was it Piddle's wet spot book.
He looks at his wet spot.
That book go boom. Anyway.
Timbers was the only pack that made it.
Oh, then perfect.
Oh, actually, well, yes, my pack made it, but a lot of stuff was destroyed, including my book of lore.
Wasn't that the wet spot book? Or was
no,
that
that was
book?
my writings. That was my writings. This was my documentation.
Just
my
your
journaling
documentation?
throughout my entire...
God,
my
who
journaling.
was Maury? You think to yourself.
Yeah,
as
now
you
I
start
don't
reading.
know. Like, I don't know now. Like now, I don't know.
You begin skimming through the wet spot diary.
That's a terrible name.
What the weird thing, and you know, you're like reading this first-hand account of something, but it's all in past tense. And it talks about this dude. You get to a cool passage where it just is him ranting about this guy named Sil, like C-I-L. And it is the most cringy shit in the world. He's just going down a list of like small petty grievances that describe this Sil guy as just a complete idiot alcoholic who was incredibly dangerous to be around. Yeah.
Interesting.
And then before you know it,
I can
you guys-
understand. I can understand what's going on in the book now. Like it's something that appears to me. Like I can understand now. Before it was blank, and then you said there's writing on it that is complex. I can't quite understand it, but now I'm able to. Like,
now that
study it
you're
and read
a
it, and
level 4, almost level 5 wizard, you're beginning to naturally decipher the arcane codes of other people, Antoine. You're climbing the wizard ladder. How does that feel?
It feels good. I wish I had Randy here to tell him that. Yeah, I'd be powerful.
It's true.
Randy told me he doubted my power to help my island, to save it. My last conversation with him, when he was dusted with coke in that Rodrigo's pleasure palace, whatever Rodrigo had, he was like, "Well, I doubt that you can do it." So, yeah, I wish I could tell him like, "Well, Randy, I'm getting powerful now. Maybe I can do it, huh?"
Hey guys, here I thought I was the only one who personified inanimate objects, but here we are. I'm not alone. Guys, you quickly get to Destry. It kind of surprises you how fast you schmoove through the area.
Don, what does Destry look like on my map?
Well, isn't that just something you should ask me, Alden? It looks a little bit like this. Ignore the little grid and chalk lines, but are, you know, the multicolored line from the Discovery team. I honestly should just get rid of them now, because we don't need them anymore. So let me go ahead and do that. Oh, John's on the wrong side. Boop. You guys enter the province of Destry. This place... Well, what do you guys know about Destry? You know there was, like, a civil war happening, right?
I know it in great topographical detail.
You do.
The
I think
children
Helga
were.
knows nothing about it.
There.
I heard that the children were being massacred by a team of murderers. 400 dead by now.
Something about children warriors. Must be a clan of great fighters.
Yes, Helga? Are you about to say something?
I just said kids. They're kids and they're dead. That's not funny.
We heard something
Try
about
not to laugh.
I'm hearing laughing.
we heard something about a group of murderers rampaging against the children. Yes,
Oh.
I believe
the
Meza was
kids-
with them.
I don't know who that is.
Oh yeah, Anchois would know.
As the evening sun begins to set, you all arrive in the city of Destry proper. Currently,
I zoom in.
You zoom in and
Enhance.
enhance. Yeah.
God, what an odd city.
An odd city indeed.
It's like a bunch of shanty towns.
Shanty towns, packed housing,
And a Tower of Sauron.
Lots of single-story buildings, and these towers that are strategically placed to be in the middle of things, like in the middle of roads specifically, like right here. Well, they're just in these weird junctions. There's a big, cool cathedral as well, and a graveyard, which you guys will pass over, as DD2 does not stop at the small airship station that has been set up, but goes to the Citadel directly. This Citadel is currently the artillery battery of the city, or specifically of the Tulst Expeditionary Forces. It is heavily guarded, and they are expecting you. So once you guys land, disembark, a bunch of people are kind of waiting there on this big old platform, getting ready to unload all the cargo, food stuff, and anything else DD2 had packed in its hold. This is the first time you guys have, like, seen a military force of Tulst in action. And man, are they, like, rushing about with great haste and with great amounts of energy. They look very, not panicky, but even this late at night, just moving about, just on the hustle, on the grind, getting stuff out of this airship. I suppose this is where the captain, or the guys who picked you up, will sort of not give you orders because they can't. They're their own thing, and they're their own thing, and you're your own thing. So, like, hey, one guy will come up to you and just be like, the transport heading for Tulst is due in, like, 2 or 3 days. I guess you can just wait here.
May as well. Explore the city a little bit.
Yeah. Is the city
Looks like
safe?
graveyard.
Oh yeah, the city's secured. Most of the inhabitants that fled during the battle have come back. And Fresnoth is in full retreat in her own territories. So, you know, things are looking up ever since... What's his name? Rick Silverback joined us, the mercenary. The guy who owns an airship and is just currently fucking about.
Have any of us ever heard of him?
Coraline, you're a pirate, right? Go ahead.
No.
Give me a history check.
10.
He sounds like a Corsair, but you've never heard of this guy. Anyone that has like silver, gold, bronze, like a metallic last name, usually a pirate.
What's Coraline's last name?
You ask?
Something Rose. The Sif Rose.
Oh.
D-
Rose gold.
Durasif Dash wrote.
Dash!
We pronounce the dashes in the fantasy worlds.
Okay,
They're called
okay.
tax, thank you very much.
Sure. So,
All right,
you guys are
so-
here. They're not going to take you back on board, so they salute you, say their goodbyes, and tell you never to talk with them again. Or at least...
We'll see how long that lasts until we need another evac from the middle of nowhere.
He says as he waves goodbye and goes talk to the guy who is currently in charge of unloading everything.
As he walks away, I call out, "Good luck with your divorce."
Thanks. I'm trying to get the dog not put down.
Oh my god. Sorry.
Helga, you know what this means? We have to go steal that man's dog.
Who the fuck's that?
Save him
guy?
from the ex-wife.
We have to go save that man's dog.
We have our heist.
Okay.
Yes. We have to save that man's dog. I agree. We have to
Alright,
save that
our
man's
new
dog.
mission, guys. Fuck Toast.
We
Understood.
gotta save this guy's dog.
John, what the fuck is this by the cathedral?
What do you mean?
There's someone's
Oh.
token there.
Yeah,
isn't
that's
there?
Runt. I'm
That's
sorry.
That's one of us.
No, that's Runt. He's a Thursday group guy. I had left him there on accident. My
I thought he
bad.
was a frog.
No. Fuck off.
That's
We're
Revok.
talking about meta shit. You guys are in the Destry Citadel of the Overduke. You guys kind of don't have any place to be, and you're not sure where you're going, so what would you guys like to do?
I pull out my map.
You pull out your map. What are you trying to
I
find?
look for landmarks.
You
More of
find a
those
landmark.
weird magic symbols.
You are on a landmark.
What's it look like? I need to
Is-
start taking note of what would these mean.
It is a big ol' square.
God damn it, John. Are they all squares?
No.
Oh. What's the graveyard look like?
What do you mean?
Like what if I want to know if there's different landmarks that mean different things. I want to know what the legend of this map is.
You know, for some reason, Alden, also known as Paradigm, whenever you look at this map and focus really hard on it, you can just see, oh yeah, that's a graveyard.
Oh, okay.
So rather than me giving you your own fucking legend that I have to now micromanage for, like, world consistency, I'm just gonna tell you when some things are things, okay? Why are you making my job harder, you bitch?
You told me we were passing over landmarks and I was gonna ask you what
sure
they were.
Would. Too bad you left the buffering zone before it was too late. I guess this is John bitching at player episode, guys. Alright. Who wants to piss me off next? Why don't we declare some actions you guys want to do?
Never raised his hand.
Tamara, what do you want to do?
Do they have a library in this place?
They sure as shit do.
Can I read about elementals?
Maybe.
Just, you know,
Alright.
read
Tamer,
about,
also known as Anchois, wants to go explore the Citadel. That's what it sounds like he wants to do. He wants to go find a library and steal all their knowledge.
yeah.
Coraline, Paradigm, and Helga, what do you guys want to do?
I'll start with the library as well. We got 2 to 3 days to raid a graveyard.
Helga,
Hey, it'll be our second.
Yes.
what would you like to do? We're supposed to set up diplomacy with the tyrant's city-states, but I think the job is done here.
Yeah, I think we've got like a few days off.
So, what would you like to do?
Do you think that man's dog is here?
I think he's from Toast.
Oh, well, that's not helpful.
We could find out.
Yeah,
I
want to ask around about that guy's dog.
Perhaps you should just go talk to him. I don't think he likes me very much. You know, the poor maintenance and everything.
Yeah, okay.
You must be...
I want to go find that guy.
Did they
You want to just go find the captain again?
Yeah. He just left and I'm like, wait, no, I have to go talk to him.
Yeah,
Never contact us again.
He's talking to some dude who is currently micromanaging all the porters here who are trying to unload the airship.
I tap him on the shoulder.
Ah! He says...
Hey, I'm sorry. I know you told us not to talk to you again, but this is important. I need to know. Where is your dog?
What?
She hears over the radio. Perhaps a little more subtle, my dear.
Oh, I start whispering. I just start whispering. Where's your dog?
He's at my house. What kind of question is... Why do you want to know about my dog?
Listen, okay, I'm gonna save it.
He just blinks very dumbly for a moment.
Okay, look at me. You don't want your dog to get put down. I'm
No.
gonna save your dog.
What?
Well, not just me. Me and my friend. We're gonna go save your dog from your ex-wife.
You know, if, like, I get found out and her lawyer finds out, I'm gonna lose, like, everything else, too. You know that, right? Oh, I'm trying to steal... Do you understand how divorce works? This isn't, like, a thing you just involve yourself with, ma'am.
It's okay. I have a cover story. If they ask, I don't know you. I just am a dog thief.
This sounds insane. You sound insane.
That's not very nice, okay? I'm trying to help you.
Ma'am, I'm an adult. I can figure out my problem. Thank you. Very much.
Okay. Fine.
Thank
Have
you
fun
for
with your
your
dead
concern. Okay. Holy shit, he says. The guy who's just like holding a clipboard going through like a 15-page manifest is just like, what the fuck did you do to her? What is going on? And the captain's just like, fucking weirdos in the fucking task force.
If we happen to get his name.
No.
I didn't ask.
If we could just find the ship's manifest, we could find his name on it.
I did not think of that.
Can I cast my invisible mage hand and go steal his wallet to get his address?
Yes, give me a sleight of hand check. As you try to steal his wallet. Ah! He screams out as he feels you just grab his ass with your invisible mage hand.
Hold on, someone else go up to him and ask him his name. I'll cast Encode Thoughts on him, like touch his head, pull his name out of his head.
Okay. I quickly turn back around and I go, wait, I'm sorry, one more question.
After I just goosed him.
Yeah, I'll leave, I promise. Just one more thing.
He's flipping out.
name?
He felt like he just got...
Got
he's like
that
looking around.
from his
Ah!
invisible hand.
What was that? He just screams out.
It was nothing.
Yeah, I need
Ignore
to
the
ban
floating
this
hand.
guy.
No, you can't see it. It's invisible.
Oh,
Corlene
right.
just slaps him on the ass.
Okay, one thing. I promise I will leave you alone after this.
Ah!
100%.
I've been
just wanna know-
violated.
Yeah, it's fine. Ignore that.
What?
I just want to know what you... It's fine. It's fine.
Ignore that.
What is your name?
Rumble Roar, what is this guy's name as I go turn on my fan? I'll be right back. Hang on. Jesus Christ.
Glad John's not forcing me to encode this man's thoughts.
Wait, what did he write on the whiteboard?
XP and then bitch out JC.
Oh, nice.
And then
The
I'm not
to-do
sure what the other
list.
two are.
The task force to-do list.
All right, he says that my name is Herbert Shacklebottom.
Great. Nice
Is
to
he
meet
lying?
you. I'm sorry about the dead dog thing, and I leave.
All right, you leave.
I ghost him again.
Ah! He screams
Time
and does
Coraline
a
pats the front
perception
side.
check to find who the fuck is goosing him. Where's my D20? There it is. Here comes the goose check. He does not know who goosed him, unfortunately. Antoine Paradigm hit up the library of a citadel whose property is not your own. You will enter the citadel properly. There, you can find a bunch of Tulst officers and their staff walking about being dicks to each other.
Right.
Yeah. I knew you'd understand me, Alden. Who do you go to? Well, yeah. What do you do?
I ask for the section on conjuring elements in
So
particular.
you just like
I'm very
go
interested.
down the stairs and find a guy, and you're like, "Where's the conjuration at?"
I take
Yeah, exactly.
This guy looks at you like you're a freaking idiot. It's like, what?
You know, conjuration. You know,
He ignores you and just goes on to doing his own thing.
takes a peek at the bindings of the books in here.
You
Do
guys
any of them
haven't
even
located the library yet?
Oh,
You
I
just-
thought you said we were in the library.
oh, I thought we
No.
were in. Yes.
No, you
Okay.
guys entered
Oh.
the citadel.
I'll just go up to one of the guys being dicks to other guys, and I'll just be like, "Hey,
Hey.
where's the library?"
Oh, it's that way.
All right, thank you.
All right, now you're in the library. Thank you, guys.
Alright.
Now that we got that crucial
Uh,
step done.
Now I look at the bindings on the books. I start reading titles. Any of them do it mean anything magical, or is this just like history?
It's worse than history, Alden. And Paradigm, maybe he didn't even know this, but this citadel was the place of lordship for a bunch of vampires, specifically vampires who called themselves the Bad Bagels. They ruled Destry with a aloof fist because they were erudites and people who just sort of hung out, and occasionally they'd flaunt their vampiric power, but for the most part they were just party animals who would do a bunch of crazy bullshit. And then once another person who you guys probably know by the name of Fresnoth, she came in and kicked all of them in the pants, and by that I mean that all the vampires fucked off. So when you get here, 6 years after that happened, the Overduke showed up. And the Overduke, who got put in charge of Destry, the city-state and city itself, he had to sell off a lot of stuff to try to get any amount of money for his defunct government that nobody was supporting. And one of the hits was all the cool shit, apparently. Because John just rolled a luck die for you guys in terms of knowledge and book wealth, and rolled a 2. So you find all of the unsellable, self-published smut these vampires wrote over like 7,000 years of ruling this country. And holy fuck, is this library still 100% full. It is all smut, Paradigm.
I look to Anshaw. This is just a bunch of vampire blood smut. Now, John, do I see any Castle Power manga in here? Because that seems to fit this narrative.
Roll for investigation with advantage if Antral helps you. Antral, you want to help him find fucking Castle Power?
I have
13.
nothing to do. literally have nothing to do here.
Do I find a torn out Castle Power page?
Oh my god, worse. You find fan fiction.
Oh, I take it. I pocket it. We need this.
It is a, like, massive 300 to 500 page Lord of the Rings style tome with each one having 8 to 10 panels of illustrations. It is a full-blown picture book, and it's beautiful. The craftsmanship, whoever drew this must have spent like a year per page on just the detail. It is great. The material, this thing, to the right collector, could easily be worth like over 5,000 GP.
All right, so you said
This would be
350
considered
pages of Castle Power fan fiction.
Yeah, it weighs like 30 pounds.
How much? 30?
Yes. You can throw it in the party sheet. And it is the Vampire of Azay arc, which is a relatively unknown, but, well, it's a known arc of the Castle Power, like, meta series. But this guy, like, inserted himself, and he's, like, super fucking awesome and cool and solves all of everyone's problems really easily. And then the entire narrative is just crazy. And very self-serving.
Man, coming here got us some real treasure, guys.
Antoine, you're looking for Conjuring, right?
Hey, this sounds like a conjuration book if I've ever heard one, eh?
Hey.
let me roll something here. What would you want? An investigation
What are you looking
or something
for?
else, or conjuring? Like this is what I don't think I'll find anything, but like something about conjuring.
Just roll me a 1d20.
All right, let's do this.
Find a blood ritual.
Antoine, you're looking for
used.
elementals, but you find like these joke conjuration subgenre of like magical books, where they're not even spells or anything. It's just like, what do people who don't know anything about magic think, or like show how magic works? And you're like looking at it, and it's like, all right, grab a kettle or a pot or a cauldron, you know, kill someone and drain their entire blood into the vat, and then throw in a bunch of cocaine, and then boom, you get a blood golem.
That sounds right.
I quite literally toss these books aside. I find a corner, and I take out my dagger and I etch out a name. Anchoa was here, and then I walk out the door.
Perfect.
I want to look for one more kind of book before I leave,
I'm
John.
done.
All right, Paradigm, what book are you looking for?
I want to dig through the smut, and I want to find something that involves the transformation into vampire, or like the vampiric transformation. You know what I mean?
You spend 2 days looking.
I want to go to the graveyard.
Well, you can do it on your 3rd day, I guess. Because there's jack shit about how to become a vampire in the Citadel of Vampires. So, while Paradigm's doing that for 2 days, and John goes to his handy-dandy calendar book, you guys have 2 to 3 days of downtime. I'm just going to roll I guess a 1d6, and 1, 2, 3 will be 2 days before your airship arrives, and 4, 5, 6 will be 3. That's a 5. So you guys have 3 days of downtime.
I guess we will look to try and find out if what was his name? Herbert Shacklebottom lives in Destry, and if so, where his ex-wife is currently.
All right.
Yes, yeah.
You're gonna dedicate 1 day.
Absolutely.
All right.
Yep,
go
for
ahead and
sure.
roll an investigation check.
Helga, are you Scooby doing with me?
Yeah, I'm gonna help. I'll help.
The hyper focus on Herbert Shacklebottom.
Oh,
Great.
Yes, you
Oh.
discover that he is a Toll citizen.
Aw.
Aw.
And instead of taking you guys the entire day, it's going to take you like 2 seconds. Because you're going to be like, hey, where does Herbert live? And some guy will be like, Tolst. And you're like, oh. Okay, then.
Great.
So you still have
Okay.
your first day.
Well, that was a dead end.
Shall we take in the show?
Do they have shows here?
Maybe not after the unpleasantness with the murderers and the children.
Yeah. I don't know if they would have time to rehearse a show. We can check. I'd love to go see a show.
Okay. We will spend our first day investigating to see if there are any shows or anything fun like that to do.
Alrighty. Antoine, you doing anything?
I basically have not got any luck in the library, and I left Paradigm there searching through his like mountains and mountains of like, vampire schmutt. And so I'm just I'm just like disheveled, and I'm kind of like, well, that's a dead end. So let me just practice my magic, and I go around, and I'm kind of like, using the wand, shooting it to see if, how much, what comes out, and it's like lightning and stuff like that. And then I'm like, cool. And I'm practicing my illusions, boxes, stuff like this. And just generally keeping myself busy, but nothing productive, like nothing worth of RPing or anything like this.
Are you going to do that for the entire 3 days?
Unless somebody picks me out for something,
Okay,
if they have other plans of doing something, because this seems like a, not much for me to do here in Destry.
Well, when all you care about is reading books and all there is a bunch of smut, I understand. Alright, Coraline and Helga, you will indeed find a couple of very low production value shows. They are mostly just like street plays that people are like setting up and acting out. And it's mostly to entertain the people here who have come to secure their city for them. A Destry civilian production, but it is like Ren Fair level of production value. So like literally some guy stands on a soapbox and tells a story or two. Or they rap in lyrical rhymes as a bard plays a lute. So that's the first day. So it is now the 26th.
While we're doing this kind of stuff, like going to these public places, Coraline's going to try to listen to any sort of rumors about like the leadership, if there's anything interesting that's like how people are feeling about tolls or the new arrivals, that kind of stuff. Like anything that might be useful for the kind of missions that we're being sent on.
So the common folk who aren't really that important on the grand scheme of things, in Destry at least, are very happy that they can be in a place where their children won't be drafted into a war. Because their whole big shtick was, we're going to go and hide out in the woods to the west of our province and wait for Fresnoth to take over the Overduke's area, and then we're just going to live out here in the woods until somebody kills her. Because they had no means to defend themselves against a literal tyrant. So when the actual Tyrant of Tol showed up with, well, he didn't show up, but when he sent 2,500 people, an allied ship, and another task force unit to secure the Overduke, this was an opportunity for many of them to, like, go back home.
So it's mostly seen as positive, like a liberation more than an invasion.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, it is considered a liberation for right now. It depends on the future, though, and there are a lot of people talking about what the fuck is going to happen later. Because Fresnoth still has her army. She still owns all of the northern half of Destry. And, you know, one of her mercenaries betrayed her and everything, but she still has an airship fleet. It's not a good one, but, you know, if you're on an airship, there's not a lot that can hit you. And the Overduke has no military. He has no resources. He's literally like a puppet of Tolst right now.
Is what was his name? Silverback in town?
He is not. No, he is on a blood quest of revenge against Fresnoth.
Oh, okay.
He'll come back to resupply in like. I mean, he has a lot of fuel. He's in a light cruiser. Yeah, he has rather. He can basically be up there for like a couple of weeks if he takes it slow, and just bomb the fuck out of anyone. So it depends on when he needs to like grab more munitions.
Well, then, unless he shows up, Corley doesn't really have anything else to do other than have some fun with her friend.
Helga, do you ever want to break off from the fun train and do something productive?
Here's what I think we should do. So, I think we should get the whole team together, go to a bar, do some team bonding, because it doesn't seem like you like the other two very much, and I think you need more than one friend.
I have warmed up a little bit to the one Anshawa. And the other one isn't so bad. You know, the Anshawa, he really helped us versus that leech monster. And there's a horse, Paradigm. Oh, he's not so bad. But I still worry. You know, they lost 2 others. And I don't want that to happen to you.
I mean, well, in their defense, I've met Aurelia. I think that might have been on her.
You always say she was so wonderful. Never had a bad word for her.
Well, she was nice, but I mean, I really didn't know her that well, and she kept calling me her best friend, so I think there was something not quite right there.
Oh, and you think the other one too might have been a little, how you say, crazy?
Maybe. I didn't know him.
Helga, let's talk about your relationship with Aurelia real quick. This random bard showed up one day asking for people who could cast Hellish Rebuke, got found you, the only person who likes that spell, and literally forced you to cast your magic into it, and then once that was done, she just left. In like a hurry. Despite that, she called you best friend. Do you think you were being used by Aurelia just to serve her own purposes?
Definitely, but I don't think Helga realized that until like a few weeks after, where she was like, "Oh wait, you know what? Maybe we're not friends."
Oh, I'm sorry. Well,
but yeah, I think Helga thinks that Aurelia had something not right, because who calls someone their best friend after meeting them like twice? Not Helga.
Not Helga. Helga has values.
Yeah.
Helga has standards.
Specifically, saving people's dogs.
Yeah.
Well, unless, I'm up for it. If you can drag them away from the library, I'm up for it.
Yeah, I go and try and get Entree and Paradigm to come to a bar with us for team bonding.
Paradigm, Antoine, do you do so?
Paradigm suggests the graveyard and the idea of looting noble corpses.
Oh, wait, this is the second day. Paradigm is actually...
I'm buried in smut.
Yeah, he's buried in smut, and the reason why he's so hyper-fixated on this is every page that he touches has cocaine in it, or on it. So he's being, like, magically infused with cocaine to stay energized. Like, everything's a blur. He's going full hyper-focus. Something's wrong with Paradigm.
Coraline will think of many, but say none of the jokes about him and not being the only horseman in the world, so therefore needing the smut. She'll think those jokes, but she won't say them.
All right.
Paradigm didn't even know unless you like touch or like say his name loudly, he won't even notice you.
I like wave my
He's
hand
right in the wave,
eyes.
baby.
Yeah, I like wave my hand in front of your eyes. I'm like, hello?
He doesn't notice.
I
Dead
find
eyes look through the craziest shit you've ever seen, Helga.
I find a piece of paper and I write, do you want to go to a bar, and slide it in front of his face in front of the pages.
Smut's getting interesting. It's asking me out.
I take the paperback and I write tomorrow ? And I slide it back in front.
Oh. A forward book, huh?
I take it back and I write, is that a yes or a no? And I put it back.
I'll have to check with my friends. We're supposed to be going back to Tulsa soon.
I just write okay and then I leave.
All right. You find Antoine.
Aaron believes a book. Asked him on a date.
Antoine, you wanna go drinking with your friends?
Sure. There's nothing else for me to do here. Let's go
Nice.
drinking. Let's have some fun.
You guys go drinking, have fun.
Paradigm shows up with the book in his hand.
No. Paradigm wakes up. I kind of want to fast forward you guys bonding real quick. Because it quickly becomes the 28th. You guys have a blast. You can talk about whatever you want. But we've been on this bit for a little bit too long. So Paradigm's going to wake up in the hospital room of the Citadel, having OD'd on smut. That is the professional diagnosis, and now he's detoxing. So when your
we've seen
airship
this before.
comes, when the airship shows up on the 28th,
I thought it made you go blind, not
So
unconscious.
it's like hog-tied and his hands behind his back.
no, it's really funny. It doesn't even matter. Anyway, the 28th rolls around. Your airship arrives, and a courier shows up looking for your gang. And of course it finds you. But guys, we gotta go back to Tulsa. It's been an hour.
Yeah. Let's just go and report what we've seen at that
All right.
place. It's very leechy. Very leechy.
Unlike the previous airship, and I think many of you have seen this one before, this fully metal, very magical frigate arrives in town, and an Ulathaean, a metal-clad, very tall person wielding a great weapon, shows up speaking in broken common, more or less ordering you all to follow them.
This is the one that fucking Miros and I took to Tulst when I first went to it.
Yes. I believe so.
Cool.
All right.
We'll go.
You guys go on a incredibly magical, highly advanced airship of your foreign allies. Not
Which ship is this one?
This is called the Judgment of Longing. It has currently been doing other things, but now that it's the 28th, it can go back to doing whatever it is asked of it. And it does not... this crew does not give a shit about Thorazor's airspace. So you guys will head straight to Tulst.
Can Coraline observe the cockpit in this one?
Antro, you got any of that jungle juice on you?
Well, I have my, I believe I had my prescription filled out from the Lich of Medicine. At least this was, I typed in the chat. What was it? What was the prescription? He said it was something that, would help me. And I couldn't read what was on it.
It's in
Yeah,
doctor.
that sounds about right.
Yeah, but
Did you
what
ever get it
was,
fulfilled? Or, filled out?
That he
Yeah,
did while he was in Destry.
Yeah, I typed it in chat. Or maybe you didn't see it, but
I
didn't want to
don't pay
interrupt you.
attention to anything you put in chat ever. I need you guys to say stuff.
Okay,
I'm never going to look at that. I'm sorry.
no worries.
Understandable.
We could do it. We can do it when we arrive in Tulst. Then.
Cool. All right. Coraline, you asked to inspect this airship and how it functions. You are instead taken to a prison cell and are thrown in.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. As soon as the guard leaves, I pick the door.
They don't leave.
Oh.
They watch you.
I go down there and try to distract the guards.
They are undistractable. They are dead set on watching Coraline. Many of them appear to
What
be
did I do?
hostile. That's a very good question, Coraline.
I did nothing. I just want to watch.
I just
Is it
look
the
at
time to
Coraline and
watch?
I go, I'm sorry, I really tried, and then I leave her down there.
All right.
Is there another prisoner in the jail?
Nope. You're the only one.
Okay.
Unless in the future Discovery Team captures any more children. But for right now, Coraline, you are in a holding cell being watched by two people who carry very expensive, very magical looking crossbows and are just leveling them at you for the entirety of this 6.5 hour trip to Tolst.
Did they leave me with my radio?
Yeah. They might have taken anything.
Okay. Coraline will kind of turn her back to them and try to whisper into the radio. Helga, these guards are much more aggressive. I just wanted to watch. I don't get it.
It's just static.
Oh no, they've got tinfoil walls.
You are in a highly metal, highly magical airship. Nice. Anyway.
Do we notice Coraline's not there for the trip? Like, is the trip long enough for us to notice?
Paradigm
Like
sure as shit wouldn't, because he had to get, like, loaded up on, like, a stretcher.
His eye is twitching.
Yeah. Just cocaine and, fueled horse. Helga and Coraline are mostly inseparable, except by force, it appears. And Antois, I don't know if Antois would even care.
I would have been focusing on my books and stuff like this while the ride. This is usually what I do.
Yeah. So Helga, you want to protest your friend being incarcerated?
They look kind of scary. I'm not gonna mess with that. I feel like if I bother them, then they might shoot her, and I don't want that on my conscience.
Okay.
Also, I like my friend, and I don't want her to get shot. And also, I don't want to get shot, so I'm just gonna leave.
Being shot with a crossbow sucks.
Yeah. I'll go tell Paradigm and Antois that Coraline's been arrested.
What for? Wait a minute. She tried to go in the cockpit, didn't she?
She did.
Paradigm is unresponsive.
He's just fucking. There's an IV bag. Someone's just like.
I want you to know, John, I'm addicted to cocaine now because of you.
It's fine. You're gonna have to go cold turkey pretty quickly.
Oh shit.
I tell Helga, maybe this is for the best, just to keep her away. I don't think Coraline can help herself. She's really, really, really addicted to going into the cockpit. Like, I don't know why.
She really does love airships.
Something around there. All right.
It's fine.
You guys, while making a mockery of the legal system that these Ulathane subscribe to, which apparently isn't much of one, you guys will soon arrive back in Tolst. They are zooming, like going full speed ahead, not caring about any air rights of other nations, nor do they care about fuel, it appears like. They want to speed to Tolst, which they do. And soon you guys, everyone except for Coraline, will disembark or be carried off in Paradigm's case, or, told to scram and Anchois or forcibly removed in case of Helga. Tries to stick around. But they
Yeah,
keep...
I protest a little bit when I see that she's not coming off.
Okay.
Is Coraline not coming with us?
Is she in, like, actual jail? I thought she was just in airship jail.
Physically? Is this a question to John,
Well,
the DM?
Yeah, like,
Yes,
well, is she going to real jail?
Oh, you ask one of the Ulathaean guards throwing you out of their
Yeah.
airship. They do not respond.
Do I need to get my friend a lawyer?
You are marched off the gangplank, Helga.
Oh my god, okay.
Here's a question. I being pushed off, right? Like I'm being pushed off of the airship.
Well, you know, you could probably were separated, so I don't know how much Antoine knows, right? So if Antoine is just told to get off, would he actually refuse?
Well, I want to see my party members with me. Do I see?
Yeah, you see Paradigm getting carted off by two Ulathaeans on a stretcher. You don't see Helga yet, and you don't see Coraline, but you see your fellow wizard horse, who is requiring medical attention, apparently.
Yes. All right. So, I don't see Helga or Coraline off the ship. Do I see them waiting for me?
Not from your perspective. If you're, like, hesitating at the gangplank, which sort of connects the ship to the airship jetty attached to the Pillar of Authority.
Yeah, they're with it. They're with me. I walked onto the ship with them. I want to walk off the ship with them.
Okay. Then you don't see them immediately as Helga is complaining at the Ulathaeans.
I radio. Helga, what's up? Nothing.
They're static.
I ask, where's my party members?
One of the Ulathaeans says they will be departing soon. They are collecting you all to leave.
I think us all. All right, where are they? Where are my party? There's a small ship. Like you should be able to find them.
It's not a small ship. It's several hundred feet long. It's a frigate.
Well, you know,
They say that you can wait on the other side of the gangplank if you'd like.
I would like to wait for my party members right here. They'll have to be here.
They are. And soon, after about a moment of, well, a minute or two arguing with these guys who are like, get off our airship, you will see Helga being kind of carried under the armpit by like two Ulathaeans who are throwing her off.
That's my girl.
Her off.
Hey, Helga. Great to see you. Where's Coraline?
She's in jail. It's not good. She's in jail.
Do you follow Helga being carried off? Or do you stay on the airship, Anchois?
I ask, where's Coraline?
You ask where Coraline is, and one of the Ulathaeans begins to forcibly remove you from their airship, Anchois. Do you resist?
I definitely cast
box.
Sounds like if you begin casting a spell, this is an initiative roll.
Yes, it is. I cast.
All right.
Tell me I'm not part of this.
On my party members. On all my party members. Bless.
Roll initiative. You begin to cast a spell. John will pull up the initiative on.
You have bless?
He does have bless.
I do.
Yes.
I've never used it.
John, please tell me I don't have to roll for this.
No, you're fine.
Okay.
You're great. You're just conked out. You natural 20 it. Very nice. Helga also rolls in. And then 4 Ulathaeans. Where are my Tulst allies? Uthayans. Alright, 2 melee specialists and 2 range specialists will roll in. You begin to cast a spell. What are these guys? Alright, we're just gonna bop, 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 bop. There we go. Alright, you begin to cast a spell, and then the range specialist shoots you, Antoine. He doesn't know what you're casting because he is not a wizard. He doesn't know what spell you're about to cast on him or his friends. So he's going to shoot you in, I suppose, the chest. And he has multi-attack. So he's just going to shoot you twice. Does a 16 hit you without mage armor?
It definitely hits me.
Do you shield?
I shield. But no, I don't shield. I do not shield.
You do not shield.
It doesn't. It wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter. It would hit me anyways.
What the fuck? Why didn't it roll damage?
That's some damage right there, John.
Yeah, what the fuck is this? No ability was found. It's literally attached. Oh, is it? Is it really because of the
Really? Yes, Coraline has a repeating crossbow now.
Nice. It is 1d10 plus 4. For 10 damage, you suffer. As you were shot the first time, and then a 23 to shoot you again in the chest. For another 9.
Alright.
So you suffer 19 points of damage immediately, and then you get to go since you rolled a 21. So
That
you
would
cast
probably
bless.
interrupt. I think that would interrupt me. I
Alright.
think any cast. Well,
No, this isn't 2e. You can choose. This is your turn now. What would you like to do?
well,
Herring
I
blast.
Why is this not working?
Misty step out of there. I give up.
All right, you misty step
19.
off the gangplank, run
19.
away.
Jeez.
The other
You destroyed
people
me.
hold, or I think Helga beat? Yes. So next is the next Ulithane range specialist who goes at 20.18. And he levels a gun at Helga. And readies in action. Helga, it's your turn.
I'm like being like carried, right?
Yep.
Okay, I like try to the best of my abilities to just put my hands up and say, "Hey, I'm not fighting. I'm not fighting."
Okay. I assumed you were since you rolled into initiative, but you surrender and are thrown off. The Ulithaean who used his crossbow bolts will be kind of upset that they just sort of fell off, pinging off Antoine's air shield rather than sticking in his body, and fell all the way to the bottom of the pillar, which is unfortunate because it goes down far. And then you, at the end of the gangplank, Helga, are yeeted together. You fly for about 10 to 15 feet, skidding at the end, of course, to gain that last bit of difference. But they yeet you. They throw you as hard as they can. And if nobody does anything, as these two melee dudes who look jacked, holding sheathed great weapons, they will just go back onto their airship. Doesn't sound
Wake
like...
up.
Alden wakes up. Paradon wakes up.
Do you agree with me rolling for that?
Yeah, sure. That's fine.
Okay.
You wake up. You're being carried. It's kind of comfortable. You're in
I wake
Tulst
up,
again.
but I stay carried.
Yeah. The gangplank, which attaches the Judgment of Longing to this jetty, which sticks out of the Pillar of Authority, is removed. It is rescinded as the Ulithaeans who carried you guys off re-embark it. And then the airship will go up and break off from the pillar for a little while. or at a few hundred feet in the sky. And you guys are kind of just left at the bottom there.
Yep. I talk with my group. Did Paradigm wake up? Is he still coked out?
I'm pretending
No,
to be
Paradigm's
asleep
okay.
so that I continue to be carried.
Yeah, he's getting carried to, like, the medical ward of the court that you guys are currently right next to. This big black metal spiked, rather scary looking fortress that is the Tyrant's Court. You know, you spend most of your time in it, and it's kind of easy to forget that there is a, like, boiling moat of lava right outside of it. But, you know, you guys are kind of close to that.
So we go immediately to the Tyrant. At least I head off. Like, come on, guys, let's report to the Tyrant. We don't need Paradigm. Let him be fixed first. We just
Paradigm will sigh. I guess it's time to get up.
You say that while you are already being carried inside the court, Paradigm. You see the big gate. Your party members having waited a little bit to watch the airship leave as your escorts continue to carry you in, not breaking stride or watching what went down. So, Paradigm's the first one in the court properly. You already feel immensely better now that you've had a good nap and are no longer being influenced by the dark temptations of vampire smut.
A vile mistress she truly is.
And you will kind of look around the empty courtroom.
Empty?
Empty. No one's there. And we're going to have a quick scene split as we go to Coraline. Coraline, these two guys have been watching you the entire time. Crossbows leveled as though you are a great threat. They have not moved in like 7 hours.
Well, Coraline, with her particularities, after about a half hour of being trapped like this, would have started pacing like a trapped animal. Another half hour, she would have gotten faster. She would have been mumbling to herself. Eventually, she'd be like tearing at the walls, trying to, rip out the bars, going a little crazy.
Yeah. So, what do you look like after 7.5 hours? Is my question.
She's frazzled. Like, her hair is a mess. She wears this hat with like a little feather that sticks out of it. That thing's just like ripped to shreds. Not the hat, the feather. Her clothes is just like like it's been almost ripped in places, just being, just tearing out of frustration. She's probably even got some marks where she scratched herself just out of sheer trying to keep her panic down.
Yeah.
She's in bad shape.
You are in bad shape. And as you begin to hear the heavy footfalls of someone coming down the corridor, Coraline, what is your relationship with the Tyrant? Because you got brought onto the task force, you were in the reserves for a little while, and the Tyrant has had like a one-on-one conversation with you at least once. That's kind of his thing. He knows everyone who is in his task force. What does Coraline think of ya boy, as he's known?
Coraline sees the Tyrant as her captain. Like, she's adopted him as her authority figure, as the leader of what she's a part of. So she's transferred from her ship, where she was very loyal to her captain. Now she feels like the Tyrant is her new captain. So she'll do just about anything he says. And she sees him as like he was her best chance to actually get on an airship, maybe even get her own one day.
Oh, you're on an airship now. Is it everything you ever wanted it to be, Coraline? These footfalls come, and they are dramatically heavy. They echo and linger in the air. And to you, a frazzled person who now has something to focus on, they may even feel a bit more... you may even feel them, like, through the hallway and into your metal cell, which you were being held at and spectated like a caged animal. And then, as these footfalls become fainter and fainter, and the person who is making them appears, you see your captain, as it were. The 19, 20-something youngish man who stands like 5'11", 5'10", somewhere around there. So he's not like a towering presence or anything to be afraid of. You look at this guy, and there is a very cold air to him. You've seen the Tyrant in a couple of places, and it's always this like welcoming figure. It's like, yeah, I'll listen to whatever you have to say. I have all the time in the world for you. And he seems like super fucking cool to be around most of the time. And now there's this like atmospheric shift of the room itself. You're staring at this guy who's dead face looking at the guards, who after a brief moment will scramble and get the fuck out of the room. And then your boy Ty will stare at you, glancing out of his eyes towards you, Coraline.
Well, she sees him. She doesn't quite see the coldness at first because of how distracted she is. So she's quite happy to see him. And she goes, Sir, Captain, can you let me out? I don't know why they put me in here. It's hard to breathe. Can you let me out?
His face does not change even after the guards leave. It is this pretty serious deadpan that he has going on. And as you stare at this creature, this strange entity in the body of a man, Coraline, a voice can be heard whispering within the air of this room. It tugs at your chest and at your heart. Do you have any weapons on you?
If they didn't take anything, I would have had my daggers, and I probably would have given the crossbow back to Helga.
How many daggers do you have?
So I have 3.
How many can you throw per turn?
2 if I already have them in my hands. Otherwise, I can only take out 1 and throw it.
Okay. Can you make 2 attack rolls?
Okay.
As though you were throwing a dagger. Those are both really bad, which is really good for you, as your arms begin to move outside of your own control. It feels incredibly strange, as your body literally begins to move against your will. You try to lock down your shoulders. It doesn't work. You try to stop yourself from drawing 2 daggers and throwing them through the bars at your captain, your leader. And maybe because you're resisting this, because you like him, or maybe because there are metal bars in the way of a clear shot, but you don't even, like, get close to his non-armored AC. So these are just, like, clear misses. And he continues to look at you as you do what?
She looks at her hands. I don't know why I did that. She'll take out her last dagger and kind of throw it away from her.
You try to. Instead, you hold on to it, as though it is bound in your hand.
So I can't, like, let go of it. But yeah, I'm not being forced to throw it.
You're like an action figure right now. who cannot move their fingers because they're like all the same joint.
Okay.
You know, like a G.I. Joe doll, you can like put a gun in its hand and like you fit it in weird. It's like that, except you're the G.I. Joe doll now.
Sir, I don't know what's happening. I can't control this. I will try to turn my back to him so I at least can't throw forwards.
You try to, and your neck moves, but your shoulders, you feel your entire lower half lock up. And the tyrant speaks finally. But does he address you first? I think he would. Coraline, you have made a new friend, it seems.
I had a dream, but the thing in the dream came true.
Yes. Yes, it did.
It was a woman, I think a woman. She says she was the aunt of Li Shidan. Do you know who this is? She warned me that I had a worm inside me, that she could help. I thought it was a dream. I just reached out my hands and I'm like this now.
The tyrant continues to stare, somewhat apathetically at you. And he decides what he needs to say, because this will be conveyed to others. Coraline, I don't know what to do with you. You are now a puppet to my enemy.
But I am loyal. I'm part of your crew.
You're a puppet.
I don't know.
You can't even see the strings that are attached to you. And I don't know how to get rid of them. We will talk with Ozark, and maybe even Mori, to see if we can do something about you. But for the moment, I suppose your mind is free. But you will try to attack me again. I am now your enemy. And he just, like, continues to stare at you sadly. Because he knows you're loyal. He knows you're a good person. Or at least a good soldier of his.
She's loyal.
Yeah, she's loyal. That's the most important thing. And although he may or may not be distraught right now, he's staring at you with a hardened coldness that maybe he wouldn't normally have.
Are you sending me away then? Or worse?
We will try to figure out how to free you. But for the moment, I cannot break what lets you fly.
So, if you break it, I won't fly anymore.
No.
I do so love it.
He
It's better than an airship.
He nods again. If only we were not at war.
I am one of your diplomats. Maybe I can help that.
Maybe. And he steps forward to the cage door. Can you please make another attack roll to stab the Tyrant of Tolst?
Okay.
And that one, if he... Yeah, he wouldn't be rocking his entire kit. You'd hit him with a 17, definitely. You stab him, and he goes to grapple your arm before you can bring it back into the cage. Can you please roll damage?
6 piercing. I assume my sneak attack doesn't apply.
No. He sees you coming. This is... no allies, unfortunately. Well... No allies. Can you please make me an athletics check?
Okay.
As he goes to grapple your arm.
If this is a defense against a grapple, I can do an acrobatics if it's better, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Alright, well, you do not beat his natural 15 that he rolled. And he will grab at your dagger, disarming you so that you no longer have any immediate weapons at your disposal. And then he will walk off after being stabbed.
I'm sorry. I didn't want to do that. I really didn't want to do that.
Your words follow him as he leaves. He hesitates briefly, but says nothing at the door. The Ulatheans, who initially had crossbows leveled at you this entire time, re-enter and take sentry positions now that you don't have any clear weapons about you. They themselves not wanting to risk an altercation.
She's kind of despondent over this. She backs out into a corner, just kind of sits with her arms around her knees.
Yes, as soon as the tyrant's gone, you have full control of your body once more. But you feel a disappointment in the air that surrounds you, that connects you to something far above the world's skybox.
She's got to kind of listen around her and say, "Is someone there? Did you make me do this?" And look around.
I mean, be nice, I'm sorry. You will not hear anyone respond to you. And you will kind of just hang out. And we can jump back to Helga, Paradigm, and Antwal, who have regrouped in the Tyrant's Court, in the Citadel. Well, not the Citadel. Within the throne room. The Tyrant's not there. No other person is. The Ozark Simulacrum that normally stands in a corner somewhere, T-posing for posterity, cannot be found. The courtroom is yours for the most part. There's a sick-looking metal throne. Sorry. You want
Not touching that.
Okay.
I was gonna say we have to save Coraline. Like those thugs, like they took her. They literally took her.
Paradigm's gonna sit and wait for the tyrant to get here.
Do you sit on the
Very
cold
alarmed.
floor, or
I'm
do you
very
stand
alarmed.
like a man?
You know, I'm just gonna stand.
Okay.
I'm gonna wait.
Helga's gonna take a seat and like anxiously bounce her leg as she waits for someone to come in that she can like talk to, and she's like kind of listening to Anshwe, but she's like in her own head and she's just kind of like nodding along to whatever he says, but she's not paying too much attention.
Okay.
Why would they take her? Why would they take her? I understand imprisoning her. Like, she gets in trouble. But taking her? That, why? Why
Antwa,
would they do that?
Antwa, you've met Celeste, correct?
Yes, blue-skinned demon lady. Yes.
She's
Man.
she's not a demon.
Well,
Celeste
construct.
yeah.
is the homunculus of a god. Now, this is just me drawing conclusions, but Coraline now bears the uncanny resemblance, minus the wings, to Celeste.
It kind of like dawns on Anchoa that Coraline might not be Coraline, Like what?
Coraline is still Coraline,
What?
but she's not. She's been taken over by something else more than likely. That that form of change can't just be made in an instant or a dream. Something else had to have done this to her. And after having spoken with Celeste,
The chat.
you know, the tyrant doesn't like anyone else's intervention in his courthouse, so to speak.
Uh,
Are you saying the tyrant took her? That was the tyrant's doing? Tyrant's taking Coraline?
That was our
Not them,
allies, part of their airship. I'm not saying it was him, I'm saying it could have been him. Celeste was almost like a mad dog, from what she told me before she met the tyrant. And then I forget what else happened, but now she's on a leash, as she puts it. Of
She told me something
his.
similar. She's still on a leash. She's still on a leash, I believe. She would kill, I think her words were she would kill all of us if given her released by the tyrant, and she owes everything to the tyrant for keeping her under somewhat control. Didn't get into the details, but she seemed to be very, very thankful for that. But yeah, she'd kill us all. She said she was very clear about that.
Yeah, she made it very clear to Miros and I as well. Although she still wants to murder Miros.
Who doesn't?
Okay.
Is the real question. As you guys have a conversation and theorize and hypothesize, the tyrant returns, his bodyguard following him closely, clearly trying to get the knife from his hands, but not making like a true go for it, you know? But he is holding one of Coraline's daggers. You all remember the tyrant. He's a young guy who's got a long sword currently sheathed on his hip. And he sees you three standing in the hall.
Immediately, like, go into like, tyrant, like, Coraline's been kidnapped. We've got to save her.
No.
Like, I'm like,
He says no.
what?
So she's beholden to something now, is she?
We don't know what, but she is a marionette on some strings, as it were.
Is this akin to Celeste's situation?
I don't know.
Before you?
No. It wasn't. We're gonna try to find out what's wrong with her. Or how to undo it. I'm not sure if we will be able to. But right now, Coraline will attack me on sight. And probably anyone else who she can easily identify as an ally of mine.
She has yet to attack any of us. In a provocational manner.
Yes.
Her recklessness might have endangered us a few times, but yeah, I don't think she
I don't
she's
care
attacked
about
us
the
before.
airship she crashed. But my magic no longer
I was
works on
alarmed.
Coraline, which means she's not technically part of this world anymore, or is at least shielded from it. So it's a good thing none of you guys ran into any more danger aside from the leeches and the worms that you guys did.
So you do
Oh,
know everything that happened.
You know that. Yeah.
My spy was watching you all for quite some time, as he is tasked to do for all of my task force units.
The man with the
surprise!
pointy ears.
Yes.
Surprise?
He came out to assist you even, or at least give you a little bit of direction when I asked him how two of you fucking blew up in a tornado of fire. This should not be a surprise, but I keep many parties that are hostile to me close. Rembrandt, Aurelia. We knew what they were coming in. They were both marked by foul monsters. They were influenced by otherworldly creatures, but Coraline managed to make a pact with one. Whether it was because you were in a holy site or there was a direct connection, I'm not sure exactly how these creatures are able to make these pacts and why they don't do it with everyone, but she is not herself. And her cover was blown the moment Shade, my brother, tried to get back into her head, only to be rebuffed. So then. Who wants XP?
Please, as I dwell on the thing you just said.
Very heavy.
Very heavy. The tyrant will go back to his throne and contemplate, and as he does, others will kind of slowly begin to filter into the court, and he will start to reconduct business. This 20-minute break he took apparently being extremely well timed out for the people who constantly bother the Tyrant of Tolst. Let's go around the table real quick and save Coraline for last. What we think about this dilemma and choice, ya boy, the leader of your entire unit, has done. And we're going to start with Helga. Helga, your best friend just got swiggity swoinked and is now in an aerial prison. What's up?
Yeah, Helga's not having a good time right now. I think she's just like being far more quiet than usual as she tries to like figure out a way that she can get her friend out of this. And she's like, in her head, she's like, no, it'll be fine. This guy can be reasoned with. There's no reason to think that she's gonna try and kill anyone besides him. If we just keep her away from him, then she'll be fine, and we can just like keep her in our party, and she just can't interact with him. And she's just like frantically going all over all of these things in her mind, without like ever taking a break. And then the conversation that was happening around her was just like not helping.
So you're just in like panic, trying to think of a solution.
Yeah.
Do you regret not going to doctor school yet?
Yeah. But I mean, I've always regretted not going to medical school.
Fair. Hey, Antoine. You were pretty adamant about rescuing your friend, but now that your boss has told you that she's no longer your friend, what's up?
Well, Ancho always thought Coraline was a troublemaker, you know, but not evil, you know, not in particularly somewhat. Maybe she is evil, but who knows? But you know, someone who would not kill him, and that's kind of like, you know, that's a good thing. And he was very much alarmed at the hijack of Coraline. You know, like Coraline was hijacked. Understands it first, like okay,
Hijacked or
Coraline will
forcibly kidnapped?
Kidnapped, I should say. Yes, she was kidnapped.
A little of both, actually.
So, no. Imprisoning Coraline, you understand that. She'll get in trouble again with the airships going into the cockpit trying to kill us all. Coraline killing us all. But kidnapping, you know, being kidnapped is a different thing. He's just alarmed. And he sees this kind of behavior with the tyrant repeatedly, making these decisions, these executive decisions, you know.
It is his
and he
job.
starts to wonder. Yeah, he's the tyrant, you know. And he starts to wonder what other decisions will he make, you know? What's the next step or something like that. He hasn't seen maliciousness. He has not at all. Anchois doesn't see any maliciousness from the tyrant, but he does see someone who does make decisions without the rest of us fully knowing the reasons for why at the time.
Yep.
Which is somewhat alarming. But they've always made sense. They've always been not malicious, but
After the fact, maybe, is like the big problem.
exactly.
Yeah. Paradigm. Hey, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts? Coraline hated you from the start, but, like, did you ever really hate Coraline?
No, Paradigm doesn't dislike Coraline at all, actually. He kind of likes her. But the first person he met was after Ozark was Celeste. And after the things Celeste told him and what Coraline seems to be becoming, he understands the situation they are all in now. Especially, he's skeptical of the Tyrant. Always. He understands that the Tyrant is a tyrant.
Wait, I thought he was your homunculus, bro.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean you can't be skeptical of a person.
Ah, that's fair.
He's always giving half-truths and hidden answers, but at the same time, that's what a leader does. We're just the fucking chess pieces on a board. We don't need to know everything, we just need to do our job. Paradigm wants to know the answers of the greater fucking everything going on behind the scenes, but he can't just ask for those. He knows that. He wants to find it on his own. And part of that is keeping Coraline around and seeing what happens with her. So he wants Coraline around, but he understands what the Tyrant's doing.
Okay.
Especially if it's a danger to himself. Because that's what all of this seems to be.
I thought
Sorry.
we were done.
That's it.
Coraline, who is in prison. Hey. How you doing? How's it going?
This hasn't helped her much. Knowing she's going to be there for quite some more time, the pressure is getting to her, even more so. That's probably a good thing that they took her daggers away. But now, she's been pretty euphoric since she was able to start flying herself. It's something she's wanted quite a bit since she came to the continent. And now it looks like there's a pretty serious downside. And it's kind of shattering everything she had built up in the last little while.
What do you feel? What's like the emotion that will haunt you throughout this at least 7 days of long rest as John continues to count up experience?
A lot of fear. She doesn't know what's happening, or why. She doesn't understand she didn't understand how the dream could be real. But it seemed so good at the time, and now it's turning badly. She's also starting to realize that she might be losing something worse than what she's getting. Because with she can no longer breathe water. So she kept putting off trying to find her family and going back to them after her ship sank. Now she can't go back. She won't be able to go down and see them anymore. So that kind of realization is what's hitting her while she's alone.
Okay. Well, the characters are dismissed, experience must be given, and a long rest must be had for level up. So, normally, John's experience is not just combat, obviously, and not just roleplay. You guys are great at roleplaying, so sometimes I don't give you
not so great at combat.
We're getting there.
My combats are a little bit more narrative. So I give players and their group experience for the themes of which they go out and do stuff. Obviously, for this small adventure trying to bump people up to level 5, you guys didn't do so much political machinations. So instead, we're going to be using the Discovery Team rules for this, and question you guys on how much you guys learned. And for basically you guys telling me stuff, I will be giving XP and adding to the total in which you guys have built. So, pop quiz, I guess, team. I have the total currently. I have the pure combat total that you guys have done, as well as the quest experience for scouting out the ruined fortress, which you guys have looted but did not fully descend into. So you guys got partial experience for that. You did succeed in reconnaissance, so that's good. And also made it back to Alcazan without much help. Getting some lucky encounter dice, or for Coraline, perhaps unlucky now. So, guys, what do we learn that you think is important? What is groundbreaking? What is a paradigm of this world that you discovered?
The gods
Space
are
fish.
Yeah, there's
Space fish.
outside worlds or something of that ilk where there's far more advanced technology than the current exists somewhere.
Oh,
Or
there's
may have.
Alright, I'll give you something for that.
space wizards out there. There are literally
I-
space wizards.
Space wizards, alright.
What I think is
did you
the
learn?
fucking...
I don't want this to be like one person just says everything. I want us to go around. So let's do round robin, including JC, including Coraline. Helga, what did you learn? Anything dope? Anything cool?
We already said space wizards.
Yeah.
We found the grave of a wizard killer. I think that was cool.
Yeah.
We got a name from that.
Oh, what name did we get?
Whatever name was on the coffin.
Uh-oh.
Cinda.
Wait, it was written down.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
that, yeah.
Alright, we have a lead into a wizard killer that may lead into more wizard shenanigans, so I'll reward you guys for that.
That was
Coraline,
pretty dope.
JC, we're going counterclockwise from my...
We learned that the airships of Tulst are terribly maintained,
jeez.
and something should really be done about that, Smitty.
That was already well established. The Tulsa does not have much of an air fleet.
That's why we want Thorazor.
Yeah, that's why you do, because they have dope airships.
Well, the part that probably marked Coraline the most was her encounter with the tree. The tree covered in leashes, where she talked to the leech person that was like the one we fought. And so the whole part about being talked about how there was a worm inside her and maybe some of the others. And that was... So this seems to tie into what the Tyrant was talking about, just from a different side. So if both
continue.
both were telling the truth, then Coraline was already touched by Lychee Dan, and then now she's touched by the one that, the pretty one in the sky that wouldn't give her name.
So I will just give you a flat, the best reward. You got the name of an enemy leader, a foul one called Lychee Dan. Which is somewhat comical, but Paradigm.
Stand with you.
You said space wizards.
No, that was Temer.
That was Temer. My bad. What did you say?
funny.
What do you want to say?
Well, to me, and probably Paradigm too, the fact that whatever veil was keeping the gods away from this world is now thin enough for them to start reaching back into it.
Well, that's the
And to me as a-
you guys were told that when you applied to the game, right?
Yeah, but I'm saying as a character, Paradigm just now is getting that since Coraline got touched by someone in a dream.
That is a good point.
This wasn't a
Non-canonically,
thing,
this is strange, right?
and
This
this
guy
is
made
now a
it
thing
happen.
to the Tyrant also.
All right, Temer. Aside from space wizards,
This, well, the space wizards were pretty awesome, by the way. Just imagining that there's these space traveling like wizards who wear suits. That I mean, it's just pretty cool. Probably my Piddle's wet spot is among their group. I'm putting connections between my mind and this. So, what we learned when we went to this place, we know these leech monsters are all around them. They're digging and mining for some reason. Why would a leech god need something? What were they mining? I don't know, but they were. That was their goal. They're able to communicate with Coraline. We thought she was weird when she was just repeating, like, what have you done to conquer the worm? Like, but they're able. It seemed to be real. Like she floated, she flew afterwards. So
She
it's
conquered
very
the
real
worm.
god.
Yeah.
Well, we thought we were talking about the leech, but it turns out to be something entirely different. As we learn now, it's within you or within some certain people. What other thing did we learn? We found some, I suppose, some wizard killing stuff, and but you already mentioned that.
Don't forget the
shadow assassins from the history past.
Oh yes, the shadow assassin. There's the shadow guy following us, who we've talked to before.
Oh no, I was talking about
Oh, okay.
the mage killer we found.
Julia
The mage
already
killer.
said the mage killer. I have rewarded.
Yeah, but she
you.
was effectively like a shadow assassin for an ancient fucking civilization.
True.
I was thinking of the spy that's following us around. That's following
You-
us,
yes.
all our groups around. We've
You
talked to him
learned
before.
of Shade. The
Don't
tyrant's
forget about
brother.
the general goods, which we encountered, and
The
which now
general's
Paradigm
goods
has
store.
an artifact.
Yeah.
Now, is the old woman similar to Coraline's friend? Seemed to be pretty powerful. That might be an interesting thing to explore.
Julia, you got any more?
Interesting.
Yeah,
cool
and at a
shit?
bare minimum, we now know that a weird store that disappears and appears at random exists. So that's a thing that
That
people
is
might
a
be
know.
interested
discovery.
in knowing.
That is a
We actually-
rather important discovery.
We know about another one too that holds secrets of the world too, because I asked her about it.
And you
Oh,
can
yeah,
find it
what
with your
was
map,
that
maybe.
called?
Yep.
What was it called? Paradigm.
The secret
It started
smithy
with an R.
Hey,
Oh,
or something
never
like that.
mind. It
Was I
that.
right?
the Secret Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were.
I thought Schmitty was in there for some reason.
Secret Smith Schmitty. Triple S. Anybody got any other cool discoveries that they learned or found without giving me a full recap of like your past 3 sessions?
Someone tried going in those ruins before, but that's not that big of a thing.
No, and they were probably
Alkazan
taken over by the Leech.
stabilized.
Well,
We didn't know.
We do know that. Yeah, we
Well-
did know that. We figured that out when they rescued us. They
Yeah.
said it.
Vampire smut. This history of Destry.
Yeah, what did we learn in Destry? Anything cool?
What?
We found fan fiction.
Yeah,
They got
this
better.
castle power. Guys,
Yeah.
maybe someone should
This
start
castle
looking
power.
in. What is it? Who wrote it? Why is it everywhere?
Oh no,
Like-
Paradigm is going to be reading this fan fiction thoroughly for
Hang
like
on.
secrets.
Well, that we'll do downtime activity.
yeah,
Let's talk about this real quick, because John's
we
mentioned
learned about
castle
the history
power
of Destry.
several
there was a
times.
whole play in the Forge of Alvin. There was a
Yeah.
box set of it.
700 miles across multiple mountain ranges and it's in a Ren fair. Like, this is the place where nobody goes to learn new stuff, right? This is where you become like a vassal to a vampire and sit in stagnation until you die. But even they have castle power. Why is this a thing?
What is castle power?
Yeah. So I'll reward you for castle power XP.
And where are their why are there Gundams?
I'll give you 50. I'll give you 50.
And how does
one-
Paradigm get it?
There's
The
one other
castle.
thing.
What's up?
There's a poor dog in need of rescuing in Toll.
Yes.
At Herbert
We have to
Shackleford,
rescue a dog.
Shacklebottom's ex-wife's place.
There's a very violent divorce happening within Toll.
Coraline will shed a few tears for not being able to help Helga go steal that dog.
During Helga's downtime. All right.
I think Helga's a bit distracted.
You gave us a bit of history about Destry, about how like sexy vampires are just doing
God, they're
doing
so
Magic, cocaine,
were
better
kicked
than
out.
Mokapuni.
apparently, and they were kicked out, and all by another vampire who came in. And
that
then,
stuff that's been freely accessible since the start.
Yeah.
Was the cocaine red? Was it blood cocaine?
It could have been blood cocaine. It was hard to see with all the blood in your
Cocaine.
eyes pooling from cocaine. But all right, that is an even number right there. And now, Coraline, I have to ask you a big question. It's just because John did not think about the solution to this problem that he sort of threw at you. And I hate punishing players for having rolled a 100 on a loot table, making an in-character choice of joining a dope Gucci god, and then suddenly that backfiring because you're in the fucking god war and you're fighting these things.
Especially since you inferred that I was already touched by this other gross leech god, so it's like the choice wasn't
He was
hard.
a demon.
The choice wasn't that difficult, but now you've been like... So there is no easy solution to this that will come up in a week. And I hate saying that because I'm more or less forcing you to, like, retire your character. But alternatively, I suppose... Well, I honestly just can't see a way, like, they'd let you go into the outer world. Because that's like setting free an enemy agent to cause harm onto them later. Because there's no way Coraline the puppet will just... Maybe this will be your new quest, guys. Trying to figure out a way to get Coraline free.
On a leash?
Off the leash, as it were.
I mean,
touched by
is there no way to...
Okay, hold it.
Is there no way to, like, do what happened with Celeste?
No. There isn't. Coraline is a puppet. When she got pulled into the sky the first time, she wasn't flying. She was being pulled into the sky on an invisible string.
I got it, guys. We kill the god.
Coraline, we'll see you in
that's
14 levels. But that's my big question. Do you want to make a new character, or do we want to throw a MacGuffin at Coraline and kind of ruin that? Well, not ruin, but like alter the narrative in such a way where we get the garden shears to cut you free and change you irreversibly again.
Well, I mean, I'd like to continue with Coraline, but is there a way to do it? Like, would you have to change a lot to make it work?
I don't know how... So, the reason why Celeste works, and this is kind of non-surprising and has been told multiple times, she can't leave, like, a 50-mile radius outside of Tolst. Celeste is kind of, like... tethered to the tyrant, and some, like, she can hold off the influence and do like small excursions, but she can't go that far. And more or less, Coraline can just be like forcibly mind controlled by the tyrant.
That's against him.
That's
the deal.
Yeah, kind of.
Tethering can't be possible to, like, for him to do it. Let's say tether her to Helga.
No. Like, it's his magic that is the thing that keeps Celeste in check. If you want, we will, after splitting experience off, the next mission will be a way to figure out how to get Coraline free. So if you want to make a... Well, I assume that. If you guys want that to be your objective, like... Do you care about Coraline enough to save her soul?
I mean,
I do.
I would, but my alternate thing is, how long can we put off our main objective as a political party in the eyes of the tyrant to where this is becoming something that's useful, aside from the knowledge of how to break the connection with a god.
Politics
that'd
can
be
come later. You have a friend to save, Paratime.
fair enough. Okay. All that the eye saw was like the tyrant saying, hey, the knowledge of how to get the powers of a god, then cut them free. Hey, that'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be super dope. It's time to... We're altering the structure of the campaign a little bit, guys. Maybe we're not being the political team for a couple more levels as you guys go on
A couple more levels.
This
The other teams are just
30
like
session
the fucking...
campaign. Anyway, I bring this up if you want to make like a substitute character and just play as two characters at one time, JC.
Okay, sure.
Then we have Coraline in reserves, so that whenever we free her, you can go back to her. And then, you know... God, if you could actually fly on your own, you'd be a busted-ass character, though, let's be real.
Yeah.
So you guys want to do... Or, JC, do you want to do that? And then...
Yeah, that'll work.
Okay, cool. I'm going to divide this experience between 3. The average level of the campaign now is 5, so JC, you're gonna make a 5th level character. Whenever, really. But for now, let's stick with Coraline because she can still potentially have visitors in air jail, as it were. So, we are going to split this, divide by 4, and then... Wait, what? Oh god, I hit C instead of CE. Alright, it was 8,800 divided by 4, and now we're going to add the 4... No, how many sessions have we been on since you guys met your new characters?
It's 3, 4?
3.
I think 4.
Hold on.
Is
We went
this
and
the 4th
crashed.
one?
This is the 5th one.
This is the 5th one. Okay, cool.
Yeah, because we met them, then we went on the cavalcade.
Okay.
Yes.
So this would be 5.
This will be 5. So... Oh, that's just an extra... 2 times 5 is often...
Yeah, I've got 4 action reports, so this is number 5.
Okay, cool. So then, everyone can take home an even 3,200 experience points.
Jesus.
don't
Coraline
know.
2?
Yeah. I'm splitting XP. Coraline was an intrinsic part of this and is now going to basically be your next quest plot hook. You can get in.
Oh, Helga, we're 200 away.
You're 200
We're
away.
so close.
Oh, well, the average is 5 now, so I don't mind giving you guys a 200 experience boost if you want to keep playing these characters.
All right.
Well, except for you, JC.
Okay.
Because you suck. You can suffer, JC. You're making a level 5 character anyway. But yeah.
Wait, so can I add an extra 200?
Yep, if you want to keep
Sweet.
playing as Helga. Or
I
you
do.
can meme me and be like, oh, John, but if, you know, why would I go on this quest as level 4 when I could just make a new level 5 character? Like, that's kind of lame. So whenever we hit new averages, if you are below that average, I'm just going to bump everybody up as like a way to keep everybody in pace rather than be an asshole, I suppose. You know? Like, being an ass
What
is a thing I
spells
could
do you
do.
take?
Yes,
We're
we have...
level 5 wizards now, Paradigm. What
Oh,
spells to take?
fuck.
What spells to take?
We
Don't
get
take
2
fly, they
spells
don't like
on
people
level
who
up,
fly.
right?
You pick 2 spells with a 100% chance to learn. And now that the wizards have access to 3rd level spells, researching spells is going to be a bit more tricky. Good roll on hit points. Perfectly half, but not average, since averages are lies. Helga, you're going to have some dope-ass
Yeah.
warlock shit to pick.
Yeah, that might take me a little bit.
All right. Are you gonna keep Hellish Rebuke?
Obviously. Why wouldn't I?
3rd level Hellish Rebuke. If you still had Randy, you'd just be able
Hell
to
yeah.
fill that fucker up.
Fuck yes.
Average hit points for Alden. Below average for
Oh.
Temer. Coraline, I
As
don't know
usual.
if you
This is
want to
like
level up
last
Coraline.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you want me to hold
That is
off?
wonderful.
Yeah.
That is wonderful.
Okay.
Let me give you a new character sheet.
Alrighty.
So that you can roll stats and we can see your stats you rolled. As you, JC, become the first player to hit their 3rd no, wait, that's actually Shen still. Never mind.
Oh,
Yeah,
at
Shen's
least I
had a
only
lot of
died once.
It's true.
Wait, I add 2 to this, so that's great.
Mm-hmm.
What's your con?
Okay.
There you go. You are now a Drool Asucian.
46 KH1, right? Or KH3?
4d6d1 is better.
Alrighty.
13,
Have we encountered
10, 10.
other languages yet?
Oh.
Oh yeah, we did.
There we go.
15.
Alright.
All right, we're looking pretty average right now. Come on, 16 or 9. 12.
I'll be taking Phantom Steed.
Okay.
Wait, are you kidding me?
Yes.
Fucking Phantom Steed hype.
Okay. I'll have to give it some thought to what to make, though, with that.
That is fine.
All right. Tamer, I
Uh,
want your opinion. Haste or Intellect Fortress?
Why aren't you picking Fireball?
Because I took Erupting Earth.
Ooh, the
Okay.
meme spell.
Okay.
The trigger the Discovery Team spell.
Hey, it's
John,
a good
in-
fucking spell.
Since if their mission is going to be to learn how to break a god's hold, then I assume the tyrant would assign some sort of character that would be aimed towards that goal. So what would
Sure.
fit that? Like, is there a skill set that has to do with it in your world, or you know what I mean?
No, this is some pretty new revolutionary shit, my man.
Okay.
I'm not going to tell you what to build, but there was a reason you made Coraline a barbarian to frontline for your team.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I'm telling you to do that again. Now that you guys are level 5, all of you can pretty easily split damage. Helga has some healing. Paradigm and Anshua have AoE now, so maybe not dying to AoE is good. Making a person who's good against like a singular target and who can sustain themselves in combat would be a good idea. Alternatively, do stupid bullshit knowing you're gonna get killed or retire this character later. It's up to you.
Meme character.
If you want, you can make a meme.
Let's go. D&D
Oh,
Beyond.
dear.
Let's go to D&D memes and see what the top post is.
You know, okay, so I had this build to go like a strength bard who just grapples people. Like, that's what I was gonna be like a WWE superstar. Like, that was my big meme.
Well, you know, Coraline was probably going to take expertise in athletics to do just that.
Well, you know. Well, now that I said it, you can't do it.
No.
I copyrighted it. So, we have people leveling up. If anybody is ready to go on to downtime activities for their level up and justify their level up, I am more than happy to begin that process. As we move down to my 4th thing, which is downtime and level up on my checklist here. Guys, might I just say, I have a huge whiteboard now that goes all the way off camera, all the way to the floor. It's dope as hell.
I'm taking Thunderstep and Counterspell.
Thunderstep.
Nice.
I know that spell.
Is summon shadow spawn a good spell to take?
You have to, for summon stuff, you have to do
I-
extra stuff with it.
I want
Okay.
you to roleplay with summonable creatures that you are binding from an eldritch abomination, or, in JC's case, a heaven god. So if you're like, John, Helga, the hellish rebuke lady, wants a pet. Well then, now we're going to go steal that dog for real. Things aren't gonna go like you want it to.
She's gonna turn it into a shadow spawn.
God, I want to steal that dog.
And
Yeah, but I'm in
fucking
jail.
to turn it into a shadow dog.
See,
Yeah.
just take fly, Helga, and then go invisible. Just walk
Fly
over there.
with Coraline.
No, I mean walk up to the dog, grab it, then fly up. Just fucking steal that motherfucker. Oh, that'd be funny.
I want it to be known that naturally strength is my second best save.
Okay.
I just think that's dumb.
Do you got any cool war mage shit?
Nope.
Okay, that's a 6.
I believe so.
Nice. Anchois, do you have anything cool?
Yo,
Are you still looking
Power
at spells?
surge.
am I pardon?
Are you
Sorry,
still looking
I
up
couldn't
spells?
hear you. No, I picked 2 of them. I've got Fireball and Tiny Hut.
Nice. Good spells. Helga,
I mean,
what do you got?
I took an invocation that I can turn invisible for a little bit.
Oh, cool.
And I'm still looking at spells.
Okay, cool. I won't rush you. So, Paradigm and Anchois, well, Helga is looking up spells that she can take to min-max her character. What are you guys doing, and how are you justifying your level up? Because I want more than I study in the library.
Paradigm's been hit with shit so much and he got very scared of the fire pillar, so he wants counter spell to stop it.
How do you get it? Not just...
Oh.
Well, John, I get this because of X. Like, how?
Ask Ozark to fling spells at me knowing he'll say yes.
Hell yeah.
Until
brother.
I actually manage to counter one.
Yes, that sounds dope as hell. Paradigm with an endless rotation of simulacrums who all have cantrips, who all have magic missiles. You will be pelted with spells.
Then for Thunder Step, it's the same process, except I'm gonna be trying to dodge it, altering Misty Step to be like a thunder damage thing instead of just Misty Step.
Hell yeah. Anchois, what do you do in this week of downtime?
so Anchois knows exactly what spells he wants. He knows what he wants. He wants a place when he's out in the middle of nowhere. He will not be sleeping in a dirt hovel or anything like this. He wants some place that can shelter him. And so he goes out in the woods or in the tolls outside, forgoes his room, and says, all right, I'm going to live out here until I learn these 2 spells. One, I get a place to sleep for myself. And I keep trying. I keep like,
You keep making
hut,
that
hut.
box.
Yeah.
The illusion.
He makes it bigger
do that.
Yeah.
and tangible.
I do that, and also I stick a candle outside and try with my mind to explode it with a fireball. After I'm just like,
Nice.
until this happens. And then one day there's a big, smoke signal going out to the sky. And then I kind of emerge, like, singed hair. That's a little shorter now. And like, cough, smoke coming off. I did it. Yes. And there's like, a huge surrounding area because I was too close when I finally learned on how to pull the magical ingredients out of the ether. And when I learn these spells, I immediately run out and get these inked on me. on the movements, the exact right sigils, writings that are
Nice.
that convey the essence of the magicness of it. Of how I pulled it out of the ether and how to use it. And I have it permanently inscribed onto me as a symbol that I've learned, I've upgraded my knowledge.
Dope.
I take a beating Temur learns properly.
Yeah.
John,
Yeah, what's up?
sorry to interrupt. I just remembered that I was talking with Alden about this. Can I play his sister?
No.
No!
You
Keep
cannot
away
be-
from my sister!
Yeah. Helga, have you picked your spells?
Gonna turn her into a drug addict.
Theoretically, my laptop's being incredibly slow, so it's not letting me see what this spell does. So I don't know what it does. I just like the name.
What spell
so
is
I took Hunger of Hadar.
Ooh.
Oh, you spawn black tentacles
Yeah.
Sweet.
to attack things.
I'm gonna keep that then.
Nice. Was that the only spell you picked? Or did you switch one
That's
out?
the only spell I could. No, I didn't. I switched out one of my invocations because I realized it was useless.
You can also switch out one of your first or second level spells to get another third one if you want. I don't know if you want to, but
Oh.
like you
No,
could get
I'm
rid of-
okay.
Okay. Dope.
Yeah. Maybe I'll look at that. Well, I mean, I don't have. One of them was from my invocation that I have to get rid of that
Mm-hmm.
because I switched it out.
Okay. I trust you.
Yeah.
The charactermancer, I think it messed up my hit point thing because it gave me plus 10 hit points.
Why did it give you
I would
plus
just
10 hit
manually
points?
not too sure, but I'll just manually change that to the 5 plus 5 that was before.
Okay.
Did you accidentally level
add
up
it?
more than once?
No, it says level 5.
Because when you roll the dice, it does it itself, and then if you added it again, it'll probably think that you're just adding more.
No, I rolled the dice once.
It happens.
I mean, this is just
Character Mancer's weird.
Yeah, I don't like the character mancer.
Yeah, but also fuck off. It's still better than D&D Beyond.
Hey, I use it perfectly well.
Sure. Alrighty. Well, I mean, Helga, what do you do to level up? Do you just steal this guy's dog? Like, what?
No.
Like, is that it? Is that all you...
I do have a mentor in the city that I guess I go talk to, and I just go, hey, teach me whatever cool spell you want to teach me, and I'll learn it.
Who's your mentor?
I don't know. I gave her a name. 1 second.
Because I think that's how we justified your previous 4 level ups.
Uses
Yeah,
the arms of the fucking tentacle arms to pick the dog out of the house.
Oh God.
Her name is Calcine, and I just made her up when I was making up my backstory. She taught me magic after I failed my entrance exam to medical school because I was sad.
Look, I just want easy magic. Teach me how. And she's like,
Yeah.
Be holding yourself to a
Hunger
demon.
of Hadar.
Yeah, she was like, okay.
What do you know about turning the hunger that you have in your stomach into one in the real world as well?
Nothing. That's why you're teaching me.
Get ready. You're about to see some fucked up shit.
Sweet.
And then you learn Hunger of Hadar and
Yep.
seeing the horrifying, well, I guess hearing if you don't have Devil Sight. You have Devil Sight.
No, I didn't
Okay.
take that.
Then you just see this black sphere that creates this weird warbling noise that absorbs and kills
Ugh.
everything within it.
Nice.
You feel slightly less hungry every time you cast it, too.
Sweet.
Alrighty. You guys are level 5 now. Is there any downtime activities we want to do outside of just leveling up?
Learn spells. Learn spells. Actually, no. I'm gonna practice with my flail.
Okay. You start swinging a chain.
Did I learn spells?
It depends on how long we want to stay here. For the record, it is now the 4th of March, also known as spring shifting. No longer are we swirling, now we're shifting, boys and girl. I hate my fucking month's names so badly. I really don't like them. Anyway, you all are now in March. You are down to 3 members of the original 6. Well, 2 members of the original 6 and 3 members out of 6. Half strength, but feeling strong. What's the plan?
I mean, I guess we're doing the Coraline thing. If the tyrant gives us the go-ahead.
They are researching that.
During the downtime, can I try and go visit Coraline?
You can.
Will they let me in?
Your spell focus, your arcane focus will be taken from you, and the witch Irithil will make you cast 2 spells since she knows you're a warlock.
Will I get them? Oh yeah, I get them back on a short rest. Never mind. Okay, yeah. That's fine. Cool, I do that.
All right. Spellless, except for cantrips, you may enter this prison cell where Coraline has been for 9 days. You're there. Boom.
Are you okay?
You see, she's a total mess, like barely recognizable. Other than for her skin and hair color, it's just tangles and clothes ripped. Everything in the cell that she could destroy has been destroyed. She's just going crazy in there. And you talk to her, and she kind of looks at you and doesn't quite recognize you at first. And then she goes, Elga? Elga, is that really you?
I get as close to the bars of the thing as I can, and I'm like, yeah, yep, it's me. I'm here, and I promise we are doing everything. We're gonna try and get you out. I'm getting you out, I promise. You're not gonna stay here forever. I refuse.
It wouldn't be so bad if it was bigger, but it's very small. Did you hear what I did? I threw a dagger at the tyrant. I didn't want to.
I heard that you're not yourself. Nobody thinks it's your fault. Nobody thinks that you did that on purpose.
It was strange. I couldn't control myself. I was still me, but I couldn't move like me. Has that happened to you?
No, I don't think that's a normal experience to have.
Well...
I'm sorry.
Are you going out again? Are you going to be careful?
I'll be as careful as I can be while doing what I need to do.
Alright, just... ask the guards if you can take my cloak. I think it'll protect you. Take the cloak.
Did you not? Did you not
I can't
rip
use it
it
here.
up?
It's magical. I don't think I can.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take the cloak.
I assume they would take that kind of stuff.
As John looks.
True, yeah.
I mean,
can
you
I
can
take the
destroy
cloak?
magical items. They're not like impervious to damage.
With your bare hands?
You're not that strong, so probably not. But you know, Paradigm has a good chance of like breaking a magical sword over his. Well, he probably doesn't want to do it on his knee because if that breaks, he's a goner. But,
they gotta take me back. Sovereign glue, here we come.
The Sovereign Glue arc, everybody, where we try to stop Paradigm from being turned into glue. That's the next one on our list. Okay. You want to give her your magical shit? It's just the cloak, right?
Yeah, I didn't have anything else.
Okay. Yeah,
I'll take the cloak.
You can pass it through. It's fine.
It's in the party loot treasure sheet on the second one, if you want to see the description.
Cool.
Dope.
Yeah, I'll look at that.
Just be careful. Don't do what the people in your dream tell you. Even if it's just a dream.
Okay, I will be wary of dreams. Hey, I'm gonna see if I can get you. Maybe they can move you into a bigger cell. Would you like that?
Yeah, please.
Who does?
I'll try talking to people.
Thanks, Elka.
Hey, hang in there.
And as you leave, you just kind of see her slump in the corner again.
Oh. Helga, you leave this jail cell in prison. Irithil is a character I don't think many of you recognize or know. She is an elf, but she is incredibly short, only standing about 4.5 to 5 feet tall at most, somewhere in that range. She has very long ears that sort of stick out and then droop back, similar to Coraline's dream, but this person is, has never been seen by Coraline. She is bald head, completely shaven clean, and although she looks young, she has an aged look about her. She wears full splint mail, which is clearly magical by the electricity that sometimes sparks, and she wears these taloned gauntlets, which look rather mean and sharp. And Irithil is more or less acting as warden for Coraline in this moment, because this is her ship. She is the ship master of the Judgment of Longing. And she asks you, Helga, who spoke to you? Was it your friend or the other?
Oh, that was definitely Coraline. I would know.
How?
We're friends. I think I would know.
She stares at you for a long moment. All right.
Listen, I know my friend. It was her.
Mm-hmm. Did you ever whip a person together?
Did we ever whip a person together? I don't have a whip. I don't think she has a whip either.
Friends who whip together live forever, she states with like this great wisdom about her. But clearly you don't understand what the fuck she's saying or insinuating.
Before I go, I have a question for you, actually.
Yeah, I heard it.
Yeah, could we move her? She's a bit claustrophobic.
Oh,
okay.
Well. She laughs. And then doesn't.
It's not a joke. I'm being serious.
That makes her laugh more. Anyway, Irithil will begin to walk you out. Not telling you her plans now, because it feels like she'll get more enjoyment out of them if you find out what she's gonna do to Coraline later.
Helga is like very anxious. She's like, oh god, they're gonna kill her.
Worse. Irithil will lead you on out and kick you off her boat, because she likes her boat, free of sorcerers and Morlocks and all of you Tolstolians who live in the city. She does that, like, finger wave where she, like, wags her fingers at you and that, like, haha, I'm clearly evil.
I don't look. I would just walk away.
You walk away. All right. God damn. I love Irithil. She's such an evil bitch. All right. Paradigm and Anshua, you guys want to do downtime activities? Spell learning for Anshua. Chances are you'll probably only have 1 or 2 spells to learn at most, since now it's 3d2 per spell level.
Shit.
And since it's 3rd level spells, these are like, we're getting up there in spell levels. This is like the first like true hurdle of most wizards. Because like any wizard can like hit level, like second level spells, but not every wizard can cast Fireball. You guys are climbing that wizard hierarchy very quickly.
Here's a question. Do you do... this is you, DM John. Do you do Gift of Alarchy? The one
No.
to make you
Any Matt
have
Mercer
higher
stuff?
initiative. Okay.
Nope, it's gone.
Uh,
No Eberron, no Matt Mercer. And if you ask me if I allow something, I'll immediately gut reaction say no. Because it sounds broken.
no, it's good to
Artificer?
know. Good to know.
Yeah, artificer.
I be an artificer? JC,
No.
do you want to be an artificer? They're not broken at all. Why don't you be an artificer and just complete the campaign on your own? Sorry, I'm done. I'm done being a bitch.
I promise they could.
Yeah, I know. So, Temer, any spells?
Let's go to Paradigm first, and let me just collect one or two.
You find Paradigm in his room in a horse-sized chase where he is reading the apparently the Castle Power fanfic. Paradigm, should we? Do you want me to tell you what's in this fucking fanfiction?
Before you do, I want to try and learn one spell before I start reading it.
Okay, cool. You'll probably find it in the fanfiction, and it'll inspire you. Be like, I should be able to cast that. This guy can. What the fuck? Yeah, let's hear it. What spell?
I would like to try.
Fireball, lightning bolt, fireball, lightning bolt.
Any enchantment magic I try to learn will be looked down upon by the tyrant or anyone in his court, correct?
It depends on what kind. Like,
So, enemies abound.
I need to look up the spell. So
You reach into the mind of a creature you can see and force it to make an int save. A creature... On a failed save, the target loses the ability to distinguish friend from foe regarding all creatures it can see as enemies until the spell ends.
That is like a combat enchantment spell and not like I am rewriting your autonomy spell.
So this would be different. Okay.
Yeah, the reason why Tyrant bans people or like asks people not to use enchantment magic is because he doesn't like the idea of somebody else taking over another person's autonomy permanently. And, like, changing them. If you're, like, enemies abounding people is like, oh, it's 1 minute fucking run! Or, like, it's 1 minute use the chaos and, do something. Like, he doesn't care about 1 minute shit, but, like, friends or, like, the hour-long charm person or Gios, like, he hates people who use that.
Yeah, it's a fun spell, by the way.
Yeah. Like, oh, be my friend and do what I say, or you'll die. Like, it's not much of a a cool spell in his eyes.
All right then. I want to try and learn one. We'll start with enemies abound.
All right. Roll me 3d2 to see how long it takes you to learn it or fail it. Because Ozark definitely knows this spell.
5.
5 days later, so on the 8th, you will have learned the spell, or if you will learn if you have succeeded or failed in learning the spell. Can you roll me a 1d100?
A 1d100?
Yes.
38.
You do indeed learn it.
Oh, you switch it to percents?
I did more than that. I mean, everything's like a percentile dice, right? Even a 1d20.
Yeah.
This is 5. Yeah, it's fine. Anyway. 5 days later, you will learn enemies abound. Please add it to your spell list.
Thank you. And then I will read Castle Power.
Alright. Until you're called upon, or until you're done?
Until I'm done reading Castle Power fanfic.
Okay, cool.
I want to read between the lines.
Antoine.
Alright, so
It is
How
the
about
fourth.
Phantom Steed? Because you know what?
Third.
This will be.
You want to ride?
This might get me out of jam.
All right, please roll me 3d2. Manually, if you must.
Oh yeah, gonna have to do it manually. Okay.
Yep. Tip, type, type, tap. Tip, type.
What?
I eagerly await.
Yes.
Well, doesn't that just work
Man.
out?
We rolled the same.
Can you roll me a 1d100 dice?
This is just going to be you mocking
That
Paradigm.
is so fucking close. I think that is a pass. I need to look at your character sheet. God, your spell save is 17 now? Jesus Christ.
How is your 17?
Because he has
wand.
a staff that...
Oh,
increases-
that's
he's got the
right.
rod, yeah.
I was going to say, mine's only 15.
I'm gonna be torching groups of little enemies if they come at us.
True. Antoine, you... Have you ever taken your morph suit off? You just wear this all the time
Yeah,
now?
to get tattooed. To get tattooed. To get
Yeah,
There's so
tattooed.
much sweat.
There's so much sweat that just seeps through it. You get it
It's so
washed
moist.
one day. And then the breakthrough occurs like, man, I really wish I had something else to take this to the laundry, like, faster. And then a magical phantom horse appears to do just that, moving at 100 feet per 6 seconds.
Oh,
You learn Phantom Steed.
awesome.
Oh, the way I do it.
Might
I
save
play with
my
the
life.
simulacrums and I try to convince the simulacrums that they're enemies with each other.
It is now the 8th of March. But in those days of studying, Helga, anything you want to do?
And the rest of the downtime at my parents' house, and then also pretending to go to school every day so they don't know that
Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
Honey, you were gone for like over 2 weeks. Where were you?
Field trip. We went on a field trip. We were
A
helping
field
out
trip?
injured. Injured soldiers. We went to go help them.
You went to Destry as part of the Red something? The Red Hospice?
Sure, yeah, we did that.
Oh my goodness. You're such a hero, Helga. Your parents
I do
think
what I
the
can.
world of you. I will put spells learned. Alright, the 10th will roll around. So 2 days of reading Castle Power will go on. Paradigm. Let's talk about the vampire arc of Castle Power.
Here we
So-
go, I'm ready.
You guys ready for a tall fucking tale? This is some deep lore, okay? But it's
John, did you construct this hoping this would happen one day?
Anyway, so what's even worse about this entire situation, Paradigm, is this is a fanfic of a vampire who is taking the Castle Power canonical vampire arc and making it about him as the hero protagonist. So it's awful. First of all, the story pacing is trash. Original Castle Power, it's about this group of 5 people from all over the fucking place stopping a vampire war happening in a mythical, legendary swamp called Aze. A-Z-E.
Oh
Now-
my god.
These 5 heroes, this is the main big reason why the vampire arc is so groundbreaking and earth-shattering to most people who like the story is the protagonist, who's usually the boy, the boy, it's a character protagonist. Now it's the girl. So it's oh shit, now it's a female protagonist and she kicks everybody's ass. So that's what makes it super great and empowering for young girls all over who want to become super cool fighters. But what this motherfucker does is he as the charming, super cool vampire, kicks the male love interest out and takes over the place. So now everybody loves him, and now he's fighting the bad guys, and since he's a vampire fighting vampire, he's like this edgy, cool character now, like, oh, I'm this really dope anti-vampire vampire killer. And it's really dumb and really bad, but luckily there's some blood cocaine in the pages to get you through it.
Oh, I use it.
Oh, you clear this book so fast. You rub
coating
it in
his
your
gums
with every fucking page. It's a terrible story, and it ends unlike the original work entirely, where they all go off living happy, eventful lives. Where in the original Castle Power, they all fucking die horribly.
I need the original. I need more.
Yeah.
I need to know the genuine story.
Guys, Castle Power, it's super fucking cool. There's a reason why there's so many iterations of it. But that is the fucking vampire fanfic. And before you know it, 2 days will have passed. The blood cocaine fueling you. Does anyone want to do 2 more days of downtime before the tyrant summons you all for your next quest? Having made a development after 18 days of trying to figure out how to stop or save Coraline.
Could I get my prescription filled?
For your allergy medication?
Was it allergy medication given? Okay, interesting. Yeah, sure. Get it filled.
Totally. You get your allergy medication filled. Because John can't remember if it was anything else.
I hope it's blood cocaine.
I was talking about how, the sun has changed and everything like that. Then the Lich of Medicine was like, here, take this prescription.
Okay, so
that ability.
Yeah, that was actually
hallucinogenics.
A placebo. It's literally just like
sugar pills.
Yeah.
Sugar pills, yeah.
Yeah. He just didn't want to tell you outright that it's just like time had passed.
Antron and Paradigm are gonna become drug addicts. Temer or Antron's is gonna be fucking in his head.
Yeah, I have sugar pills.
Yeah.
Like, I won't be.
The sun never changed place. It just, time had passed. It literally just was beginning to set. Helga, when are you gonna steal this dog? I'm waiting for this fucking heist.
Forgot. Well, one day while I'm pretending to be at medical school, I go and look for this dog.
Yeah. After 14 days of trying to find an airship captain named Shuttleboat or Hurdlesmith or
Ramshackle, I don't know.
Yeah.
What, JC?
You're muted.
Herbert Shacklebottom.
Shacklebottom.
Herbert Shacklebottom.
You find the ex-wife or current wife, but divorcing him, Shacklebottom house. It is a townhouse. It is 2 stories tall, and in the yard there's a cute little puppy.
Oh no!
Is there anybody there?
No, it's just right there.
I'm going into the yard and grabbing the dog.
You grab the dog, it yips. And what do you do, Helga?
I go, shh, shh.
Yeah, give me an animal
to the
handling
dog.
check.
Okay.
You try to shush it.
One day, she's gonna bring a dog home from medical school.
Yeah.
You have to forcibly carry this dog that will fight you the entire way. But you can run down the street with a dog if you'd like.
That's what I do.
Alright, cool.
And I take it, I walk around until it would be a normal time for school to get out, and then I take the dog home, and I tell my parents that we're learning about babies, and this is supposed to teach me how to care for a baby, so I have to care for a puppy.
You want to go ahead and throw out a persuasion check? just to see how your parents react. Honey, this is so great that they're teaching you all about all these things. Oh my god. And then it's like, oh, come here. Blah, 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 and your mom will roll a animal handling check, rolling a natural 16 on the die. And the dog will immediately scratch out of your arms and go meet its new mom. who won't put her down. Your dad, who, you know how dads are when it comes to new house dog. I never wanted a dog. And then he'll like slowly gravitate towards it, and it's just like, fucking animals. But he'll
Finally, it's his dog.
Yeah. It's gonna, at the end of the day, it's gonna be his dog, and you know this to be true.
What you gonna name it, Helga?
Yeah, what's this dog?
Gotta start with an H. Okay, it has to start with an H. Everybody in my family's name starts with an H.
Herbert. Henry.
Isn't that the captain's name?
Yeah.
Hornswoggle.
On a nose.
You know
It'd be
what?
fair to
No,
name him
I'm
after
naming-
him.
What's
I'm
a good-
naming him Herbert. I'm naming him Herbert.
All right.
What's an acronym for stole or a synonym?
Heist.
His name is Heist.
You want to name him Heist?
His middle name is Heist. His name is Herbert Heist Hallowhorn.
Please add that on your bond section of your sheet.
Okay.
And, you know, denote it like stolen dog or something. Yeah, you
That's not
literally
stolen
just
anymore.
walked on. You will see some missing dog posters like in the local neighborhood. And there will be like a... Over the course of a month, the local radio show that is kind of played out will be like, we are still looking for Mr. You know, Schmuckums from the Shacklebottom home. Lori really misses her dog, so if you have any information about it, this is its description. But you know, who gives a shit? All right,
It's my dog now.
it's your
I'm
dog
waiting
now.
for the day where I'm waiting for the day where John rolls and the parents are confronted by Lori.
Fucking Herbert shows up and he's like, that's my dog. Like, what? No, it's not. Yeah, it is.
Wait, what was the dog's first name?
Herbert.
You named it.
You named him after the guy?
Not Mr. Schmuckum.
Yeah. The guy
all right.
after the guy.
The 10th will roll around, and you three will be summoned into the court. Your spell learning, if you were trying to learn another spell, will be interrupted this day. Your castle power fanfic research will be complete, and Helga will have a new house pet with her family. The Tyrant is there, with Ozark, with Irithil, with some guy you've never met before, but he's wearing like a tiger print everything, just like bow ties, like super striped.
I know Iram.
Yeah. No, you don't. But
Oh, okay.
We don't.
Who's
don't.
Iram? He greets you and says, "Hi, my name's Maury. You've never met me before. It's okay."
Maury.
Yeah. And
No.
Ozark, Tyrant, Celeste will also be there as well. And, of course, the Tyrant's bodyguard, who's always orbiting him 30 feet or so away. So, Tyrant's going to be brief. He's going to be blunt. And kind of morbid, as you all see Coraline locked, unconscious, forced into a coma in a research tube. Like a vat. This is the first thing he shows you guys. These printed photographs of Coraline knocked the fuck out.
Paradigm thinks of his birth.
Yes, this reminds Paradigm a lot of how you were initially constructed. He will speak quickly. Turns out Coraline was siphoning information for her enemies. While she was conscious, we're going to keep her contained and unconscious where she can't hurt herself, and then when we can finally break the bonds that make her a puppet, we'll let her out. But until then, I feel like you all should know as her friend. He points to, well, he nods his head to Helga, and well, I don't have a reason to tell the wizards because they're going to try to figure out how it works, which I'm not going to tell them that.
How do
Anyway.
we know she was betraying us?
How? Do you know what the scry spell is?
Divination
Yes.
magic.
Yes, which
Now imagine
be
that
inscribed
going
upon.
all of the time. Where you can hear and see everything around a person and detect thoughts of them. Does that
How do
make
you know
sense?
we're not being scried upon now?
I have true sight. He just looks at you for a moment. Anyway. You could have your doubts and think I'm a bad person. If you want to go look at her, she will be below in one of Ozark's labs, in his laboratories. I think Paradigm is actually familiar with the room, where he points to your arcane focus paradigm, where Nekri's skull has a giant fucking gem in its mouth.
Quite.
Anyway. That's where she will be until further notice. We couldn't locate her family to tell her this. Does anyone know where, like, Coraline came from?
The bottom of
The
some
ocean.
She came from the ocean?
Yeah.
What she
Oh.
said, but who knows? Who really knows?
I know, she came from the ocean.
Okay. Well then. We have figured out a way to cut the strings, as it were. Or at least we think we do. As Tyrant goes to his desk, does anyone have any questions for the ensemble cast that are kind of there to answer any questions or just be present for this meeting as witnesses?
Nothing presently.
All right. The Tyrant leans down into his desk, pulls out a rather hefty tome, and then sort of haphazardly throws it. It spins for like 3 or 4 rotation and lands in front of Paradigm, Antoine, and Helga on the big table, knocking over the bowl of fruit, which continues to replenish even as the fruit just goes scattering.
It's just infinitely.
Yeah. On the table, there is a heavy tome, and as you all begin to flip through it, it is the first copy of Castle Power. And with that, we're going to end today's session.
Yes!
Oh my god.
As you guys will begin to find or discover something known as I believe it is called the Essence Sliver or the Essence Shaver or something along those lines.
Did I ever in the fanfic find something along those lines?
You did not.
Damn it!
This is the original story. This is like the prequel to the original Castle Powers.
Oh, this bitch is
Paradigm.
dusty.
This is a dusty motherfucker, which has never been animated, which has never even had a live-action movie adaptation.
Paradigm's drooling.
This is a pure novel of text. You guys are going to go on a big quest. With a new member next time. We see you guys next Saturday. Well, that's it, actually. We're just going to go on a cool quest.
A new member or a JC replacement?
A JC replacement.
Damn it.
So, fun fact, I found someone else to join us
Yeah,
from the
I remember.
Thursday group.
God damn it.
Or Kashim.
Yeah,
He
poor
gets-
Kushim.
His morals have been just shredded in that group.
Well, you know, it is what it is. Guys, thank you so much for joining us today, tonight, this evening. Gibby, I love you. Take care. Chad, if you're out there, I doubt you are, but, you know, stay spicy. Guys, have a good night wherever you are. Say bye.
See ya.
Bye.